Oh, hello, and welcome to another live stream. Today, we are starting our stream actually, timing wise, the same time that the DC20 Kickstarter is in its final moments. So, we would not be surprised if there's a lot of people over there hanging out and doing their thing because that is the place to be right now. Those of you that are not aware, DC20 has been smashing stretch goals. And I think we've mentioned this obviously before because we've just seen it kind of climb and climb and climb. But really, it is just blowing up in this last 7 days. I think in the last week or so, it went up like 4 million or $400,000 or something like that. I thought it was like at 1.7 when we talked about it last time, and now it's at like 2.2. So I don't actually remember the number it was, but holy moly, it seems like a huge jump, is what I'm saying.
I think it's
Uh,
just been.
it's
It seems like it's been really steady. I think more to the point. It's just been like instead of it didn't seem like it. It of course funded really quick, and then it tapered off a little, but it seemed to be pretty steady over the last 30 days. The queuing the same amount of money over
Yeah,
that time.
it's just awesome because as we've talked about before, seeing kind of like the growth of all these kind of high fantasy role playing games where people can just get have a choice now where they feel like they can find a system that may be a little bit more tailored to the type of style that they want to play. You don't have to feel like you have to just kind of get the square pegs and the round holes and make your D&D game work. If you don't, and homebrew all of the rules you hate so much, you can actually find a system that may be a little bit more closely
You don't.
aligned with how you like to play.
You don't feel like the Pinkertons are forcing you to play D&D.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but as you can see, they're still part of my room over here. Is that okay to say? No, just kidding. Um,
Oh boy, I don't think you're the one whose house they'd show up to. You usually talk nicer about them than I do.
that's true. I do try to be very very nice. I don't know. But regardless of that, congratulations are warranted for the dungeon coach, his team, and everything like that. Because those guys and gals and everybody just they put up a really amazing Kickstarter. They saw it through all the way to the end and saw some amazing growth. So
Yeah, they funded, and I believe they hit all their stretch goals.
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
all except for the penguin one that didn't
All their
exist before today.
all their
Oh, the
real
real
stretch
ones?
goals.
Yeah,
All the real stretch goals. Is that a better way to put that?
yeah.
I don't know. That penguin one seems like a pretty cool stretch goal. So, but no, I mean, actually, I'm really curious to see how it goes because he was describing. I think the VTT is called describe because I had looked at the VTT stretch goals and everything like that, and I hadn't actually really looked at because I've looked at Fantasy Grounds a little bit. I've looked at Foundry, Alchemy. I've done a lot more with because Alchemy has been really you know doing a lot of outreach recently, and I've been happen to get in a lot of that. But Describe, he was kind of talking about that a little bit, and there was some extra features in there that I hadn't heard of. So I might actually give that a look too, since that's pretty cool. But needless to say, I think with that being said, you guys have anything else you want to add, or?
No, I just congratulations to Alan and his team. It's very exciting. Last chance to back.
Man,
What is it? 25 minutes. So
yep, get out your credit cards or whatever. You got 25 more minutes if you want to get into the party wagon.
Yeah,
but yeah, we've been having fun playing at least the alpha
Mhm.
rules of the system. The beta rules will come out sometime after the campaign closes.
Yeah, actually pretty quick from my understanding. So I'm excited to get those, open them up, and see how that changes because I think we're going to see a lot of stuff change for your characters over the next
Sure.
24 to 48 hours.
Well, that's what happens when you play these early views of rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We're used to it.
yeah, well, and then so we'll see how we get through the Whispering Cairn, and then we'll kind of go from there. So, with that being said, tonight we will continue our adventures. As we, of course, for those people that maybe not have seen what's happening on the stream, we've been going through kind of an experiment. We're hoping to try a lot of high fantasy type role playing games, very similar to D&D, and we've been putting them into a kind of a singular campaign. Trying to kind of convert a 3.5 adventure path called the Age of Worms, just to see kind of how the games feel, how heroic you feel, how do we, how does it measure up? Do you feel like it's a better experience or worse experience than D&D and all that stuff, or does it just feel like it's not the type of game for it? Those kind of questions we're trying to ask and answer. So recently we've been on a kick with DC20. It's been a lot of fun to kind of go through and use the alpha rules. So we've been kind of playing with everything as it's been in kind of its most basic state, but that may hopefully change over the next week or so. So with that, we're going to go ahead and I think we can dip into it. You guys think? You guys ready?
Yeah, you want to give an update as to what we barely survived last week?
I don't think barely survived is the right word. But so in our last session,
It felt a little skin of the teeth, but maybe it's just me.
In our last session, Zevrox, that's Jeff's character, demonstrated the artful mastery of Misty Step. He used that to its fullest, and he actually bypassed an opening in a colossal vision that marked the terminus of a wind tunnel trap. When he made his way through the trap, being of the fact that he could get through with Misty Step, he was greeted by quite an ominous being spanning a pit with iron spheres, each the size of a softball. And I wouldn't know if this would be a clear harbinger of a trap, but seemed very trappy according to the description.
It was basically like the set of that game show Wipeout, where you run across the beam.
Yeah, no, it kind of felt that way. Yeah, it was Trappy McTrapperson.
I mean, the beam, the balls in the pit. I mean, it felt very
like
very much on the same page. However, in addition to the beam, the balls, and all that kind of stuff, there was a voice, disembodied voice that was whispering to Zevrox, and it kind of jeered, kind of taunted him as he looked and explored the problem a little bit. So knowing that they really couldn't get any farther with Brent's character, Zevrox went back through the little opening that they'd made with their grappling hook, and they stand kind of at a crossroads right now. You have a little bit more to possibly explore within the cairn, so I turn the table over to you. Where do you go? What do you do?
I think we already got down from the tunnel, right? Like we're on the ground floor now, right?
Whether you're not, that's sure you can be there either way. It's fine.
Yeah, I thought we got to the sarcophagus room.
Yeah, I thought we got down before we finished.
But maybe we didn't.
That's probably true. That's probably true. Not that there to there is not really that big of a deal.
So you have a way to deal with the brown slimes, right? Mold slime. Gross.
Yes, and then also the water if we need to.
Right, but the water was in the other tunnel, which we'd have to climb down, as far as we know. So we should probably try the brown slimes first, since we can just still ride the elevator down.
Okay. All right. So, and at this point, you're kind of pushing the sarcophagus using the mechanism to trigger the elevator up, going back down into the area with the brown mold. So at this point, you guys have already been in this area before. The foray, of course, has the various statues and everything like that. But in this case, you have the stone block. Obviously,
it's fallen over.
It's fallen over. It didn't crush our good friend Brom, but making your way down the tunnel and everything like that, you do see there is that part with the with basically a kind of like a wall that's there. The hallways go around both sides, and the brown mold that you were able to identify is off to the right side.
Is the eye thing, the corpse of the eye thing that he killed, still there? Okay.
It's obviously been a few days, so it is worse for wear. The obvious decomposition.
It smells in here. I got you. I just wanted to make sure that like nothing weird was going on.
Not anything that unusual, other than
Well, yeah,
set of
somebody
eyes
came by and
attached
like
by meat.
somebody came by and like cleaned it up, though. That would be suspicious or something. So, so yeah, I guess we head over to the mold and try and I look at you to see what you can do about it.
Well, I think we're both gonna have to attack it.
Was there anything on the other side? There wasn't anything on the other side, though, right? Like we could search that entire side.
Yeah. So basically, so that as the as you kind of split off, you have kind of what ultimately functions as more like a pillar. And so going to the left, you can circle around it, but getting too close to you can definitely tell that as you get closer and closer to the round mold, it almost feels painful to get too close. So there is definitely something in your brain that says like, don't get that close if you can avoid
right.
it.
But I thought there were like two pathways. There was like
Mhm.
a room and then the room we couldn't get to.
Yeah, so this is kind of so like I said, basically think of it like as a pillar. You can head down to the south, and that's where you guys explored before. There was an area where there was a crushed skeleton, and that's where Jeff had found the statuettes
Okay,
so many weeks
that's
ago.
what I just wanted to make sure is that we were able to go through that entire room.
Yep, and then and that in the other room, I believe that's where the mark my memory. That was the chamber. It was a living chamber for some important figure or something like that.
Right, and that's where he found the statuettes. I remember that.
Yeah, then that southern area. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, like I said, going around, you do see that there's like basically the brown mold looks like it kind of oozes from the northern side of the pillar. You can't necessarily get close enough to see where it comes from, but you do see that it kind of spills into the room to the far north.
And it's one big mass, right? That's what you're
It
showing.
is one big mass. And imagine like when you get close to it, obviously like the air kind of chills as you kind of breathe, and it feels almost like getting frostbite. Like, you kind of feel like your skin get really cold, but then all of a sudden it's a little bit numb. So be wary getting too close. Okay. So I guess that's my question is, so this being kind of the situation, how do you approach it? And I'm gonna post something there for you.
Well, I'm gonna get to 10 spaces from it, so 50 feet if I can still see it.
One, two. No, that would be too far. Basically, the angles of the hallways. If you want to be as far away from it as you can possibly be, you could be about 4 spaces from it.
So 40 feet. Okay.
No, that's 20 feet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 20 feet. 20 feet's fine. I don't imagine brown molds move that fast.
Okay, 20 feet it is. And at 20 feet, what do you do?
I'm going to cast Ice Knife.
Okay. Now, for the uninitiated, Ice Knife. Let's see.
I create a shard of ice and fling it at one creature within range. Make a spell check against the target's physical defense.
Okay. And so if it hits, the target takes 2 cold damage and then explodes. Or
Yep.
the target takes 2 cold damage, then explodes?
Yeah.
Or it explodes.
Well, let's keep reading here. Because that would be awesome if the target exploded.
I think the ice knife explodes.
I think that's what it means there.
It says miss. The spell does not explode. Yeah, so it's the ice knife. It's the spell.
That's good wording. I love it. You basically ice knife and everything and blowing them up.
Yeah, it would be better if the target.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We're blowing up the entire dungeon.
Okay.
Yeah, but so the explosion, like, what does it does 2 cold damage and then the explosion hits additional creature. So I don't care if it explodes.
Yeah, I mean, unless Brent is going to charge at it as well, you probably won't find any.
Well, since I can't get close to it, I'm probably not going to get close to it.
Well, you can get close to it. I just don't know what damages them other than ice.
I mean, it obviously, but Mike said it hurts, so
Yeah.
I assume that means we take damage if we're too close.
And ice knife is also my prepared spell.
Okay.
So on this map, Mike, 14 is where we came from.
No, that's just a bathroom. You came from the side of 11 east.
Oh, okay. Okay. That makes more sense. And there's nothing in the room 14. We checked that, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said.
Do you want us to roll initiative or anything, Mike?
No, I mean at this point it feels like the brown mold just kind of sitting there. So it's like you're basically looking more at an obstacle rather than a sentient creature that's like, hey, what are you doing over there?
All right.
It's not the blob.
No.
So I will roll a d20 plus attack and spell check is okay.
Yep.
So plus 4. D20 plus 4. Woohoo.
Yeah, and for those that are wondering, we use a dice roller that is in Discord, and we're as honest as can be.
Well, you can see the rolls, so
yeah.
What did I hit? I hit something funny. I don't know what I just did to my roll.
I don't know what you did either. I think you hit the backslash.
Oh, I did. I don't know what that does.
Apparently it does that.
Well, I rolled a 7.
Okay. So basically what we were doing here is just seeing if you had a critical failure, which you did not. You don't, it seems as though you're still learning the magics of this spell. And, as you're forming your shard of ice and you fling it, it kind of explodes, it almost explodes before it hits the target. But since it takes up, as you can tell, such a large mass, the shards and everything like that seem to actually strike the mold in various places and everything. Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, sorry, I was hoping to hit it.
Oh, that's okay.
Because I'm not going to have enough mana points, I don't think, to take it down on my own. So you're going to have to get in there and hit it physically. And then I might have to get in there and hit it physically. But I was hoping to have it, not perfect.
We don't have to beat it. We just have to get it to a draw to try and pull away from where the pain is coming from, is what I'm hoping.
So as Jeff basically explodes his ice knife above the area for the brown mold, and it kind of gets showered in a variety of ice and ice magic, you see that it like violently shrivels in the area that it hit. So much so that it almost like feels like the air just kind of like a bunch of warmth returns to it, because you didn't realize that like I said, even at that distance, you could still feel a little bit of a chill. And you actually see that like just like violently recoiled from it. What do you do?
Well, I'm going to cast Ice Knife again, since we're still both standing 20 feet away from it.
You can't see it at this point.
So it backed away?
As far as you can tell, it looked like it just, like it, those, like, is it a see an enemy that, once, like, it has that thing where it kind of pulls in? It almost looks like it did that, but it was so fast you didn't see where it went to or what it did from there. It just seemed like it didn't like the cold very, very much.
Well, I will move 1 square closer, so I'm now 15 feet from it, and lift up the lantern to see if I can see where it went. See if that, the extra 5 feet gave us any more.
Nothing.
So, I mean, basically, the hallway that it was in looks clear now.
As far as you can tell, like as you get closer and closer, you do not feel any depreciation in the heat, and it looks like it looks like you, for whatever reason, you don't see even the faintest trace of it.
So yeah, we'll walk up and look in the doorway that it's spilling out of. I will, anyways.
So, do you have like your weapon ready and all that stuff, or are you just kind of exploring?
Yeah, I have my shield out, and I don't have my weapon ready. I have my shield out, but I have the lantern in my hand, or the torch in my hand.
Okay. So as you kind of get closer and everything like that, you end up kind of on the northern side of the pillar. What you can see is that the north side is that area that it seems to have been coming from. Looks like it is a nutrient weird food type product that's in there. You can't really tell, but it looks like it's an orange gravy that has the consistency of I don't know, vomit. It looks like just a pile of sludge in there. It's kind of like you can't tell if that's because the brown mold was in there or if that's just how it is, I guess, is the way you look at it.
Like, what does the room look like?
The top of the area where it came from is you basically see that there's this like almost like a jelly that is in that northern part of the pillar, and then the room itself that it goes up north into is you see that there's a kind of a large chamber. Wait 1 second, let me make sure I'm in the right spot.
So if we're facing west on this map, you're saying that the little alcove
to the south
is where the slimy shit is, and then to the north is the room.
Yep,
which is what we care about, is the room.
Okay. Perfect. So the ceiling of this large chamber glows with what looks to be natural sunlight. You can see that basically as you come in, you see that it kind of illuminates even more. And there's a series of what look to be work tables, vices, spinning wheels, and blocks of unfinished marble that really serve to kind of show you that this looks almost like a sculptor's workshop. Something you would see almost in any big city or anything like that. You do see a huge unfinished statue of an imposing bare-chested warrior wielding a staff-like rod in its left hand that dominates the north wall. A hairless figure looks similar to the bas relief on the sarcophagus upstairs, but it is clearly meant to be a different person. You do see a short red metal pedestal against the south wall that displays what appears to be a jet black stone egg the size of a small boulder, and a gold glyph of an equilateral triangle with a short hash marks through each of the legs mark the face of the egg.
That's weird.
It is weird. How is it? You said it's just the size of an egg, so it's like this big, or is it huge?
It's a pretty big egg. Let's see. I would say that basically the pedestal. I mean, a pedestal looks like it.
I mean, is it head sized? Is it gnome sized? Is it smaller than that?
It's bigger than that.
Okay. So it's like gnome size? Like
it's gnome sized, yeah.
Oh, so it's a huge egg, is what it is. Okay. So yeah, I look to you, assuming you're going to want to go look at the egg.
Yeah, I'm going to look at the egg, try and examine it, see if see if it exudes any magic or anything like that.
Okay. So how do you examine the egg, just out of curiosity?
I will, take out my notebook and, peer around, make notes, make a quick drawing. And if it looks like there isn't any sort of trap or anything, I will try to pick it up to look at it closer.
Okay.
I mean, it's gnome sized. You can't pick it up. It's the size of a person.
Pretty big.
Oh. And I will just look at it with my eyes then.
It's huge. That's why I was trying to get an idea of the scale of this egg-shaped object.
Okay. So as you look at it, do you do like a rubbing of the symbol as you're taking it?
I would probably just draw it.
Okay. So roll for me a Arcana check. Maybe that's the one I want here.
Arcana. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And Brent, while he's going around and looking at that, what do you do?
I want to. So this isn't the giant egg-shaped objects in the center of the room.
It's on the south wall.
Okay. So what is in the rest of the room?
Okay. So just to kind of break it down, so against the south wall, you see you see the egg and everything like that. It's got the symbol and everything like that. Against the north end of the wall, so basically opposite of where you enter, you see a huge unfinished statue of an kind of like a imposing bare-chested warrior. That's where you see the it holding kind of holding a staff in one of its arms. It looks like it was a statue in progress, but a lot of it seems to be finished. It just seems like for whatever reason the staff-like rod in its left hand is not finished.
Because basically what I'm doing is walking around the room, kind of looking at the items as he examines the egg. Looking for any names or anything like that stand out, if there's anything that's labeled as art pieces or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. And so as you walk around the room, you also see a what looks to be like the remains of a person, withered on, almost mummified, behind one of the benches. It looks like, how would I describe this? It like, so you ever seen like the bog people?
Yeah, I know what I know. Yeah, I know what mummified remains look.
Yeah. So it looks kind of like a bog mummy rather than your standard mummy. You do see that the stuff that kind of like the equipment and everything like that they were wearing looks like it's fairly intact, and it has a satchel on its side.
What equipment does it have?
It looks like there's a couple, for lack of a better word, a couple wands, a couple of looking glasses, and the chainmail itself is on there, is in pretty good shape.
So I yell, Zevrox, when you're done, there's a body over here you might want to take a look at.
Okay.
All right. So I got a 14 on my roll. Mike doesn't give me any information about the egg.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So as you basically look at the symbol itself, it looks as though the golden symbol actually is a kind of it's not that hard for you to know, but it is kind of a personal symbol of Ogremok, and that is one of the elemental princes of evil.
Cool.
However, other than that, it doesn't really tell you much. So,
all right, I'll go check the body.
Okay. Checking the body, you find basically that it looks like it probably was some sort of explorer that had gotten caught in here by either a trap or maybe around mold or something like that. But whatever the case, it looks like someone who had perished in this room, and unfortunately, it doesn't really have, there's, other than like the skin, you can't really find any other identifying marks on them as to who they might be.
We look for his driver's license.
Name's Ted.
So what's in the so I take the satchel. What's in the satchel?
That's where basically there was the two wand-like objects and the lenses.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't have looked in the satchel until he was there.
I'm sorry. I should have waited.
So yeah, I hand you the satchel once I see that it looks like there's wands and lenses in it. Mm-hmm. And I tell you I have no use for these. Maybe they're useful for you.
Yeah, do the wands appear to be magical?
He's not going to need them anymore, I don't think.
They look like they have the composition of what of a magical wand and what it would typically have. Yeah.
Gonna do a check to try to tell what type of wand they are.
You can roll an Arcana check. You can see if that's going to help. Unfortunately, this is one thing I've noticed is there's not really like a detect magic or identify spell yet. So hopefully that's in the beta.
16.
Okay. Yeah. So you basically, as you're looking at the runes and everything like that on the wands, you see that one is a wand of what looks like a scribe with the spell of that is similar to Unseen Servant, and the other one is a wand of what seems to be Shatter. Now, these aren't spells that I saw in the book, so we'll adjust them as needed if we use them.
Delightful.
Does anything? Do the lenses seem magical at all? I guess
they do have runes on them, but it doesn't. You're not able to identify what those are.
Okay. Fun.
Are they like magnifying lenses or like?
Basically, it's like it would be like a almost looks like a really intricate pair of I wouldn't say like opera glasses almost, but they're like multiple.
Are they like jewelers? They're jeweler. It's a jeweler's loop.
Very similar to that, but it's for both eyes and everything.
Yeah, it has glasses, and then it has the changeable lenses, basically.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do with that.
He might have been examining the same thing you were doing with the egg with them.
Yeah, I will try the jeweler's loops at the egg and see if I get anything.
Okay. It's definitely too big to take out of here, so
yeah.
So basically, what you see is that as you put them on and get closer to the egg shaped thing, you find that the egg does have seams in it, and it does appear as though these the lenses allow you to see much better when you get closer, especially when you're within about a foot. You suddenly get a lot more magnification on everything just to kind of get an idea of what's there.
So does it look like anything turns or twists or?
You could try. I mean, you could push it or do all those kind of things.
Sure, I will try.
Okay. So basically, as you go through and you start, you kind of push on it once. Where do you push, by the way, just out of curiosity?
Somewhere where there's a seam, probably towards one of the ends of the egg, to see if anything twists or pushes, or it would depend on what I saw through the jeweler's loops,
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look as though there's any buttons or anything like that. But as you push on it, you notice that it moves. And it actually at the hint of your first push, like you push it a little bit just to see if there's like anything that slides around. And it seems to initiate a cascade of changes in the egg as it slowly unravels, revealing what appears to be an earth elemental. And it's really hard to tell exactly how angry they are just based on their look. But this one looks more fierce than your common one, and it's basically shouts at you, like in a very guttural, earthy language
that I probably don't speak.
I don't think.
I mean, yeah, I don't speak elemental, so.
Yeah, I don't either. I step back and say, "You're free to go."
You say something at it. It says something back. I don't think there's a way to mastery getting language. Okay, so lacking language mastery. If you don't have language mastery with language, you can't read, write, speak, or understand it. So, So yeah, so it looks like it's saying something at you in a very harsh and barking voice. It almost, it's like its hands, kind of like as they unravel, they almost have two arms that are pointed at the ground because it looks like its upper body is too heavy. It is a medium sized thing, so it is bigger than you though. Jeff, as it kind of unfurls itself in front of you and it seems to be wholly focused on you. But between you and it doesn't seem as though there's any good communication happening, at least via speech.
So it's hostile.
It's at least talked to you so far, but it feels like the demeanor is turning more hostile.
I don't know. Yeah, I try to, mime like go, leave, flee, anything. See if it gets that.
I'm just moving closer to Zevrox to make sure that I can defend him if need be.
Okay. Let's see. Nature. Why don't you roll for me a nature, a knowledge nature check?
Knowledge nature.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I have nature. All right, let's go stout monkey. Hopefully better than the last few. 12.
So your very limited knowledge of elementals knows that they're at least in it, like you kind of know some body language that you can use to try to placate the elemental based on what you apparently are aware of. Doing that, you see that the elemental does kind of like, kind of sees your movements and sees like you basically in like a submissive pose almost, kind of doing that to the best of your ability, head down, arms out, and all those kind of things. It seems like it's stopped barking, but it does like make a step closer to you and kind of brings its head down. Your goal was to basically mime that it could leave, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it kind of like looks and it seems not to understand, but it kind of makes its way over to Brent's character. What do you do?
I'm just trying to basically stand close to Zevrox to protect him. I'm not really doing anything. I'm expecting him to, I don't know, talk to the thing. That seems like a magey thing to me.
Okay. Well, it doesn't seem as though, unfortunately, he was able to convince it to leave, and it's now kind of like circling you guys, putting itself between you two and the door, effectively.
I like point at the door and I point at him and I'm like, go out the door, leave, go.
Okay.
Anybody you serve, long dead.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem as though that point gets across. So,
all right.
What in this particular case, I'm going to go ahead and call for initiative. How do you guys? What are you guys doing that you would say is counting for your initiative roll?
I would say that I am trying to influence him.
Okay.
I'll just use perception because I'm just trying to watch for signs of out aggression.
Okay.
I think you got it. Hey, I crit failed. I got a 5, but that's with a +4. So,
all right. And Brent got a
awareness. I mean, Brent hasn't rolled yet.
Okay.
Well, that's just +3, right? my prime plus my prime attribute, right?
Mm-hmm. Unless you have, do you have a notch in awareness?
I do not, but I rolled shitty too. I rolled a 6.
So it looks as though this case, it's going to have the upper hand on you. Just basically the position you put yourself in, Jeff, and kind of like the wait and see approach that you taken, Brent. It seems as though it was kind of stalking at you. It feels like it actually. It feels as though it actually was able to kind of catch you, not by surprise, obviously, but it got the first move. Let's say.
Okay.
So, it's going to go ahead, and as part of its turn, it is going to basically it just swings at you, Brent, as part of a kind of a swinging, meaty slam attack. Let me see. Okay. Okay. So bear with me 1 second. Oh, 20 plus 4. Oh, I rolled a 7.
Cool.
That's below your physical defense by far, if I recall.
Yeah, my physical defense, it's 14.
Okay. And then the other thing that it's going to try to do is it's basically going to, so as it slams towards you, Brent, because you guys are kind of standing right next to each other, it's going to basically shove you, Jeff, shoving you kind of away, hoping to get you to the wall or something like that. Let's see. So show. Okay, so make a physical save, and see how you roll.
What do I add on to the roll on the physical save?
It's one of your 2 physical stats. So in this case,
okay.
It would probably be agility. But since it's not your save.
I don't get my prime on that or my CM.
There, just a second. So let's see. Because so basically with your physical save, you're going to roll your. I believe you don't get your combat mastery, is because it's not your save. If that makes sense. But now all of a sudden I forgot what the other part was. Okay. So your flat saves is D20, attack checks, skill checks, spell checks, damage checks, attribute save. Okay, so it'd be D20 plus your attribute, but because you don't have that selected as your save attribute, it would just be your attribute. Whereas if it was a might, if you took a might save, you'd actually take it at 0, if that makes sense.
I got a crit. I got a 20 plus 2. It's 22.
Wow. In a surprising show of resilience, like it goes to push you, like it, because it slammed its fist at Brent, and it goes to push you, and it doesn't get any purchase, and you kind of find a way to slide under its craggy arm, and it looks at you very surprised. Now, how do you guys want to do it? Who do you want to go next in the initiative?
Oh, Brent rolled better than me, so I will let Brahm.
Okay.
Yeah, so I will attack it back. Let me remember how to do that. Like what I can do.
Okay, so an attack. So if you're just making a straight up attack check, that's a D20 plus prime modifier plus combat mastery.
I'm looking at the stuff to do.
Oh, okay, like maneuvers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So So I have 4 AP to use, right? That's right.
Correct.
And I can use stamina points to do stuff too, right? That's what
Correct.
it was. Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing that we did miss.
So we're gonna do expose. We're gonna do power attack.
Nice.
I want to do.
I know it sounds impressive. That's all I got to say.
Power attack. Look at my sheet. 1 second. So let's just do expose and power attack on that. Expose or power attack will be +1 damage. Or I'll use 2 for power attack, so that'll be +2 damage if I hit him. And then expose, target becomes exposed, which means attacks against it have a advantage until the next attack is made against it. So I'll do that.
Okay. So basically, you do 1 for expose, 1 to attack, and 2 to make that a power attack, right?
Yeah. So that's all 4 of my action points. Yeah.
Okay. And so with expose, you're spending 1 action point, and I have to make a a physical save against you. So let me go ahead and roll that real quick.
I haven't hit yet, so
no. But so when you do a save maneuver, that basically means like you just spend it, and I have to make a physical save against your save DC. And if I don't make it, then it just pops off, which makes save maneuvers very powerful and dynamic for changing how the fight is going. So anybody that doesn't know that, save maneuvers are sweet. At least I feel that they're pretty cool. It looks like I did beat your save, so you weren't able to expose it in a way that gave you advantage.
okay.
But you can still obviously do the attack.
Well,
power.
It would be on the next attack anyways. I don't think it would be on this attack.
Oh, I would think that it would, because expose is a maneuver. So basically what I imagine that doing is that you do something to try to like open up its flank or create
I think you do that for the next person. I don't think you're supposed to use that on the same attack. I think it's supposed to be for the next attack on the subject.
Well, we can take a look. I'll have to look and see if there's anything that describes that.
But regardless of whether it's because it's not there because you made the save, so Brent is
it says against the next attack before the end of your next turn. So I assume I can do it my next round, my next turn, but not this turn. Sure. But anyway, I hit it. I would assume.
Which was your roll? The 23?
It's right above, yeah.
Okay. So the 23 does hit. Now, that being said, wow, that's a pretty good hit.
That would be 5 base with the 2 for power attack.
Wow. Jeez,
or
man.
2?
So
it would be 4, I think.
So basically,
because I'm using it one-handed, 3 is if I use it two-handed.
Okay.
So it'll be 4 damage.
Base. So this is one of the cool parts, and for anybody that's watching, this is one of the cool parts about DC20 is when you beat a target number by 5, you get a boosty, and if you beat it by another 5, you get a boosty, and then you can continue to beat it by 5 depending on how you roll. But in terms of combat, what you get is you get a heavy attack, and then you get a brutal attack. So in this case, you would actually equal a brutal attack right out of the gate, which, congratulations, man. That's pretty good.
So yeah, so how much total damage did I wind up doing?
Well, so in this particular case, you would do your base weapon, which was 2, if I recall, right? You do
plus the 2 for power attack.
Plus the 2 for power attack. Plus the 2 for heavy and brutal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 6 damage, unless you have another ability that allows you to do extra damage, like you have impact or something like that, which I don't think I saw.
Not on an axe, I don't think. I don't know.
6 is pretty good, dude.
Yeah, so 6 points.
6 is a pretty nice start for a one-handed weapon. Okay. All right. So okay, so Jeff, if you'd like to go.
I'm going to use the cantrip Frostbolt.
Okay.
So and you know what? It's 1 action point to do that. I'm going to spend another action point to do an extra damage if I actually hit. I assume I have to state that before I find out if I hit.
So in this case, you're doing Frostbolt. You cast a spell. I believe you have to describe your entire cast, like you put all your cast up front. And
so I'm using 2 action points.
Okay, so you're using 1 action point to cast it and 1 action point to do additional
increase its damage. Yep.
Okay.
12.
Okay, so as you let's see. Okay, so you basically, you summon your magic, you throw the ice bolt at it, and it looks like it just shears off of the shoulder of it. It doesn't even really gather any attention for what you've done there.
So it looks like I missed, or it looks like it didn't do any damage.
It looks like it. Well, in this case, because it doesn't look like you hit it directly with your ice bolt, it looks like you probably didn't do damage. Kind of shoots a little wide, barely got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So its physical defense is somewhere north of 12.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Brent, it is going to attack you again because you obviously are the very most dangerous individual at this point, considering your axe bit into it for such a heavy amount. So it is going to attack you. Let's see. Yeah, basically it's going to attack you with 2 fist attacks.
I'm gonna spend 1 stamina to parry, which gives me +5 physical defense.
Okay.
Wow. Nice.
Okay, and who's that?
And then just remind me at the beginning, your action points come back at the beginning of your next turn, right? That's or the next turn.
Is it the beginning of your turn or the end of the existing turn?
Well, if it's the end of the existing turn, that changes what I'm going to do.
Just a second.
Sorry, my turn or round? I guess rounder turn.
Oh no, you do regain it at when your turn ends. So you'd have all your action points back now, and then you'd have till the end of your turn, from the end of your turn to the end of your turn to spend 4 action points.
So what I'm going to do instead of that, what I will do is I will do heroic parry, which is 1 stamina and 1 AP. And then it's the same thing. No, I'll just spend the one. I'll just spend my stamina point still, and just parry because it's still +5 either way. So
okay. So it's making 2 attacks against you. So the first one is going to be normal, and the second one will be at disadvantage because of the empowering. So 1d20. The first result is an 18.
Misses.
Oh, because of your parry.
Nice. Well played, sir. Well played.
And 13. So that second one wouldn't hit either, would it?
Nope.
I think you're at 14, aren't you?
Yeah, 15 or 19 with parry.
Yeah. Ah, man. So I missed both times. Oh, okay.
Yep. So ducking behind my shield and kind of huddling behind it, I kind of reach out and deflect its blows off the face of my shield and prepare my own attack.
Okay. Go for it.
Let's see. I will do the same thing. So 2 for screw it. Let's do so 1 to attack.
Okay.
And then let's do 3 for power attack this time.
Okay. You've been rolling pretty good.
I didn't roll that well this time.
Not this time. 12 seems to be just so it looks like you're just wide on, like, it basically, you can see that as it's able to morph its body, it moves away from your axe, knowing how dangerous it is. Okay, so that would be Jeff's turn.
Yeah, let's Frostbolt again. I'm gonna spend 3 action points, 1 for Frostbolt, 1 to increase the damage, and 1 to slow the target.
Okay.
16.
That hits, but it is not high enough to give you like a heavier hit or anything like that.
Okay, so it takes 3 cold damage.
Okay.
And it needs to make a physical save, or else it's slowed until the end of my next turn.
Okay. All right. 20. Nope. Yes. So now it is slowed. So basically, as you know,
what's a slow do? I didn't look it up. It's in the spell. I didn't look it up.
So conditions. Well, let's see. Conditions. You have slowed. Slowed is every 1 space you move costs 1 additional space of movement. Now,
okay.
So the reason it's beneficial for your particular spell as opposed to that movement thing, because you guys are pretty much in like hand-to-hand combat at this point, because
yeah,
push you or anything like that, is that it does do +1 damage against creatures that are slowed, so it gives you a passive bonus. So anybody wondering why that would be beneficial? So roll 1d. I have to roll a physical save, you said?
Yes.
Another physical save, or I thought
oh no, he failed it. That's right.
Yeah, he failed it. Yeah,
I failed it. I'm sorry. So its turn. Boy, it doesn't like either of you. It's going to.
It could have left.
Yeah, it could still leave. It's a shame it's not an intelligent creature and realize that it's outdueled.
It is going to try to shove. It's going to try to shove you, Jeff, and to kind of get you out of there and hopefully knock you down or something like that. So go ahead and make a physical save again.
Okay.
And then it's going to attack Brent.
I got a 7.
Okay. So in this case, you would actually be shoved. Looks like.
I'll spend my 1 for parry again.
Okay. So it actually looks like you go back to the wall. So he actually pushes you back to the wall based on that failure. So you're pushed pretty far out of the initial combat here.
I'll spend the 1.
How far away am I?
1 stand.
You are
still in the range of Frostbolt.
Yeah, at this point.
Okay.
So it does attack you, Brent, twice. To basically, kind of just slamming both of its fists at the ground. Almost kind of like an ape-like approach here. Okay, 22 for that first attack.
Nice. Oh, that's Mike rolling. Damn. Sorry, Brent.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
+1. Oh, it did work. So I got 1 attack at 22 and the other attack at 15. So the one you attempted to parry, I think I actually got you on at 22.
Well, I mean, I think you parry both. The parry lasts the round, so I think you can parry both attacks, don't you? Or do I have to spend 2?
You would have to spend 2 on parry because a maneuver. In this case, the defense maneuver, parry, trigger when a creature you can see within 1 space, including yourself, is targeted by an attack. Reaction maneuver, 1 you spend. You grant the target a +5 bonus to physical defense against this attack.
Okay, so yeah, you hit me on the first one, and I'll say that's the one that I spent it on.
Okay. And then the second one, because I took it with disadvantage, I got 15 on that one. So I think I got you twice.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. So in that case, take 4 total points of damage.
That would be 4
Oh, never
total.
mind. Never mind. 2 each time. Nope.
That's still 4.
Just kidding. Take 2 per attack, meaning you take 0 per attack.
Oh, okay.
God, gotta be good damage reduction. I just need to go get the squishy target, I guess. Sorry, Jeff. Here I come.
No, push me away.
I did notice that. I wasn't very smart of it. I should have used you as like a body shield for the dwarf. Grappled you and said, "Hey, hit this guy." So yeah, it's Ren's turn.
Okay. So we will do the what does slowed do for him again?
It means he can move 1 less space, or each space that he moves, it costs 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a movement related issue.
But I have a passive that gives me +1 against creatures that are slowed.
Oh no, I was just making sure. I was just making sure I was aware of what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll do 2 for power attack, 1 to attack, 2 for power attack, and we'll try and expose him again. So go ahead and roll for the exposed, Mike.
Okay. Bum. Nope, I didn't reach your save DC, so that would be a advantage.
So I hit him.
Oh, did you roll with advantage or no?
I mean,
well, you might get something.
Well, like I said, I don't think it's supposed to be on this attack, but I will defer to you since you're running the game. No, I hit him with the 22.
Okay, I'll look to see if there's any clarification on the Discord for that. But it seems like because expose is a maneuver, right? Like in my brain, I read that as a maneuver that you're doing something to create an opening, and then you're taking advantage of that opening by the end of your next turn.
Yeah, you are, but I think you're doing it for the next person that attacks, not my own attack.
Maybe I'll have to look. Like I said, I'm ruling that's how it's going right now. So we'll see if that's what happens there.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay. So you rolled 22. Now the 22, it is still a heavy hit. So you get the +1 for heavy, the 2 for the damage that you have, so that's +3. Then you did power attack twice or 3 times?
Twice.
Okay. So that's 5 total damage.
Correct.
Okay, let's see where that puts me. You basically, as you blocked, because you took 2 solid hits from the elemental, but as you could tell, like your armor, I wouldn't say cushioned the blow because it felt like you just got hit by 2 boulders pretty hard, but you can tell that it didn't do anything to your vitals. Using the opportunity that you had gained to be so close, you described to me how you finished this earth elemental.
Oh yeah, so as he punches down, he does hit me solid, but he still hits me on the shield, trying to weaken my shield arm as I kind of sneak under the shield and just cut him across the midsection, or what passes for his stony midsection.
Okay. Seeing that seems to sever the tie that he has to the material plane, you can see that the aggregate of different stone and everything like that kind of turns inert and just kind of falls to the ground. Definitely with visible outlines for things like body, like the different body parts are visible as to what stones generated what, but definitely much more crazy. So
cool. Nice job.
Let's go.
You carried all the weight in that one. That was sweet.
He est defeated. So is there like elemental?
I'm just staring at Brahm in awe right now. That was very impressive.
Is there elemental stone or anything? I suggest that whatever, maybe it's magic. I'd point to it. Do you need any of that? Whatever's left of the golem. Or is there anything we should take with us out of here?
Well, I think we should examine the statues.
Okay.
Does anything seem rare or not something that I've seen before, or usable.
I mean, these are big statues, right? They're like life-size statues.
Well,
they're like life-size.
They're big. Like so, the so just to kind of go back to the description of the statues themselves. So first of all, the pedestal that you saw, that is the red metal pedestal. Neither one of you has seen this metal anywhere else. Like, in considering that one of you is a dwarf and one of you is the apprentice for a rather highly regarded magician, even though it's a smaller town, it's pretty impressive that you have not actually seen, neither one of you have seen a medal of this type. Now, that being said, it weighs a hell of a lot. Like, those stones that you see, like those people try to do at strongman competitions. It feels like trying to lift the biggest one of those, where you can probably like pull up like a corner and you could kind of roll it out if you wanted to, but you're not sure how effective that would be.
I don't plan on taking anything we can't fit in a backpack.
So. Yeah, it's not going to fit in a backpack. No, but I'm making notes so that I can talk to Alistan about hiring more, laborers. Mm-hmm. I make a note and describe it as best I can. How about, and then the other statue?
The other statue was so basically the other statue standing very valiantly with a rod in his hand. You see that the petrified wood that the rod is made of, it actually looks like it's still able to come out of the statue. And examining it, you see that there are actually 6 grooves that have been cut along the shaft, suggesting possibly 7 segments. But it looks as though that piece wasn't actually final or anything like that. Because, like I said, it looks like something was going to replace it with the finished build. The rest of it looks like it's one of the same type of beings that obviously are portrayed through the rest of this, but of a very valiant demeanor.
So we can just pull it out, or does it sound like it?
Yeah, you could just
yeah.
Okay. I was going to see if it was a latch for something or something like that. So yeah, I just take it out.
Is it? No, just kidding. Yeah, just taking it.
Trap springs, you're dead. All right, game over. Good game.
I was thinking more like a secret door, not a death trap. There's been plenty of those in here.
No.
So yeah, I slide it out. What is it?
Yeah, so sliding it out, you basically look, like I said, it's and in the hands of you, it's quarter-staff size, but in the hands of it looks much smaller because it is such a large creature. But yeah, it's a very, even though it's kind of rough, it feels very solid from a quarterstaff perspective. There aren't too many intricate designs or anything like that, like I said, other than the grooves that look like they're marking out sections.
Yeah, we should take that with us. It might be, it might come in handy.
Okay.
Yeah, I slide it in my backpack like as best as I can across my back.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't go through any doors.
you just
well, it's kind of angled, so
I was being a clown. Sorry.
I thought about putting it straight up, but then I wouldn't be able to go through doors. Or just give it to you. But yeah, so I take it with us just in case.
All right. Is there anything else? I mean, I think we checked this room pretty thoroughly.
It doesn't look as though there's anything else. Were you guys going to? So you guys, I assume, are you taking the bag or anything else off that kind of mummified?
Yeah, taking the bag.
Okay.
I'm putting the like the wands and the lenses in there.
Okay.
Right? Wasn't there chainmail? Wait,
it was.
Didn't you say something about chainmail?
Yeah, there was chainmail on there that was in good condition despite the actual.
Does it seem as I study it? Does it seem magical? Or does it just seem like chainmail?
Does it seem better than the heavy armor I'm wearing now?
Well, without having a little bit more of a definitive way of saying whether things are magical or not, it seems like a masterwork set of chainmail in terms of its craft and design, which you can tell even though after all this time, it seems as though it doesn't show any signs of rust or wear. So it was very well maintained. And of course, in this area, it doesn't seem as though any triggers caused it to deteriorate at all. As for its magical nature, that will come with the beta to see if that helps me elaborate on that.
All right, well, we should
I'll put it in my back.
Yeah,
I'll put it in my back.
Because at least as it works right now, and this is my understanding. So if anybody in the future wants to describe correct us, or if we see the beta and we find out something corrected, is that there's tiers of armor that have been established in the latest playtest. The armor tiers basically being adept, which you start with, then you have
novice,
then adept, and then you go up to like expert or something like that, and each of those have a physical defense bonus of +1, +2, +3. So this would be an adept level armor quality. However, it doesn't have the same qualities that yours does, so it would be a slight deduction in physical defense bonus. Yeah, it would basically have it'd basically be a slight deduction in no, not physical defense. I'm sorry. It would be the same physical defense as what you're currently wearing, but because it doesn't have the attributes, it wouldn't have the PDR. But it does have the benefit of having the ability to be reinforced, so that it could have a physical defense bonus of +1 and or dense for the physical damage reduction. So you, at this point, you wouldn't experience the prime -2 on your max agility bonus, is what I'm saying.
Which doesn't do anything, so I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah, not yet. So it's not as good as what you have currently, only because you have the additional modifications.
But I take it with us anyways, so. Yeah.
Okay. That's nice. You can sell it. Who knows? Okay. Yeah. This is the more about dungeons type things that you're experiencing, getting loot, putting it in your backpack, all those kind of
things. Being unable to walk.
It's weird. I don't usually play that way. Like, that feels like I usually don't play. Just loot all the bodies and take all their, like, I have 16 swords to sell at the smithy.
No, that's Dragonbane.
We're
gonna break the economy in Dragonbane in our home game.
It seems like a really weird oversight in Dragonbane to have that strange, like, oh, so I sell a sword and it's 1/10. Oh, it's more gold than you'll earn in most of the other things that you do by just looting one goblin. Seems odd. Just the fact that the limiting factors that is supposed to be the fact that you can't carry that many of those, so you can't have like an entire weapons shop in your backpack. You have to have a donkey, which obviously one of you does. So, yes,
it's true.
if you didn't have a donkey,
hey man, he rolled a donkey.
I guess you need to figure out exactly how much the donkey can carry. Is what you really need, and then keep track of it.
More than a person.
Did we lose you, Mike?
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's odd, but we found stuff. I don't know how useful it is. I think you could sell that egg to someone, but I don't know how you get the egg out of here.
Well, it's in pieces now.
There's no egg. That was
that was all the okay. So it's just the stand base. It's several $100 pounds.
Oh, the dude was the egg. Okay.
Yeah, basically it unfurled itself into the elemental. Sorry.
Well, if you would have mentioned that there was a sigil of elemental evil on it, maybe I would have suggested not touching it. But
he said Ogremok. I just don't know. I don't remember. I should have said, "Oh, do I know who Ogremok is?"
Well, no. He also
he said it was a prince of evil. Yeah.
Yeah, he said elemental evil. I
was like, but this should be good.
I'm gonna funnel this dude's eggs and see what happens.
It's one of those hidden jewel boxes, Brent, that opens up and there's
Mike. No.
Can't hear you, Mike.
No. You can keep talking. It's not gonna help. GMing by mime. It's a new thing.
Well, GM by sign language.
If Mike's quiet now, I can GM the rest of the adventure where
you popped on just for a second.
My back?
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Kind of? What does that mean?
There we go. No,
okay, I can hear you now.
Your video's out of sync.
Yeah, it's weird now. Yes.
Oh well, I'll be right back. How about that? Sorry, temporary.
You seem fine now.
Now it's fine. Now it seems good.
Okay,
you seem fine now.
The temporal spacing is all good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't look like a 1960s
the wormhole that opened in San Diego.
kung fu movie.
Well, welcome to our amateur hour for technical problems for live streaming. So, okay, so let's, I guess. So yeah, so basically the egg unraveled into the elemental. Sorry if that wasn't clear from my description. But the only thing that really has any bearing is that the piece of stone that has the sigil, which was from Ogremok, the elemental prince, is I mean, it's still obviously carved in gold from the like a gold inlay into that rock, but that's about it.
All right.
And the stand that we can't pick up.
Yeah, there is that stand that you can't pick up. And I mean,
which is probably a ritual stand of some sort. Brent thinks out of character.
And there's a few 100 pounds of marble if you need it too.
Brom thinks from a different dimension.
Yeah. Oh no, we totally need marble. They'll want to build statues of us.
Who's they?
I found my calling. I'm just going to stay in this room and make statues out of marble for the rest of the game.
This became a very different game.
I've had an epiphany.
Yeah. After defeating that elemental, I feel no longer have the need to
adventure.
My foes, but I do need to commemorate myself in stone.
I do need to create
for eternity until I perfect it.
I do need to create art.
Yeah. Brent needs to do his own nude marble statue.
Brom just starts carving marble.
What was the there were some games that like took that evil overlord over the dungeon type trope, and you're like, now you're the evil overlord, like Dungeon Siege or something.
Yeah, you got control of it, right?
Yeah, and so I feel like that just turned into this game, like, oh, I now own the dungeon. What to do next?
No, I'm just making art in this room. I'm not doing anything else in the dungeon.
Oh, so let it be. Whatever will be, will be.
Yeah, I assume that it's magic, and I don't have to eat or anything, right?
That's not true.
So in a couple weeks, you find Brom dead.
The good news is there is that very appetizing gravy-like vomit behind you, which smells meaty.
Which is the brown mold, I think. We're not dumb, Mike.
Yum yum yum.
It didn't come in here, so that means it's no.
Get in your tum or something.
So with our newfound information about earth elementals being axable, I guess, is there anything else in this room that we need? No lanterns or anything?
No lanterns or anything. But yeah.
All right. I guess we go climb down the long elevator shaft now.
Well, was there anything else in that room where the mold was? Like, did we search? We searched that whole thing earlier, didn't we? Or
that was what I was asking about when we first started.
Yeah. Because you're so like looking at that basic area.
Where are you looking at? Did you send us a picture and I missed it?
Yeah, it's in Discord.
Yeah, I just wanted to make it easier so you guys could have a basic grasp of it. It's in the Discord. So just to recap, number 13, that's the room where you guys were just in. Number 14 was a very stylized toilet.
And then 12 is the living quarters.
The living quarters that you guys had explored.
All right. And previously. Did we explore 11 very much though? Like you
did.
We did.
Well, 11's the hallway.
Yeah, that's the hallway around.
Well, there's the hallway and there's a pool of water and the brown mold and.
Well, the block was where you found the statuettes that you had taken.
Oh, that's right. I found the statuettes, and didn't something collapse somewhere around there? Is that
there was a block
that's out of frame though. That's down.
Yeah, that was also that's out of that down the hallway opposite of 11. So you guys are. I mean, in this particular area, you've obviously gone through and explored this entire bit. So, as far as you can tell.
As far as we can tell.
As a GM, that's what you're always supposed to say, right? You're always supposed to be like, well, you've
only
explored everywhere that you can.
Only if you want your players to F around and search every goddamn wall in this room for the next half an hour.
No, I think I'm good.
Do you want us to look around for secret doors? Is that really what you want? Is that what you want, Mike?
The migraine's starting. No.
We go in the bathroom.
We should definitely check that pillar, though. We should definitely check the pillar. I'm not checking the bathroom. You can check the bathroom.
I check the bathroom for secret doors.
Well, yep, there's one that goes straight down. What do you do?
It's called a trap door.
Let's check the pillar, Brent. Let's check the pillar.
You mean the center of the room?
Yeah. Isn't that what I mean? It looks like a pillar. Am I nuts?
Well, it is. On the northern side, there's that sludge vomit gravy. On the southern side is where you found the statuettes, and on the western side is basically what looks like it would have been a basin of water, but there's no water in there right now.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything.
Yeah, let's. I say we search. I want to. Give me a roll. Let me search the pillar.
Okay.
Just for fun.
What's the damage on?
Maybe I can find the brown mold.
I guess they're gonna eat the vomit sludge.
What am I rolling here?
It'd be investigate.
Investigate. Let's go. Let's go. If that's the kind of game this is, let's go. So, that's +5. There we go. 23. Unless you want me to roll one for each face of the pillar.
You don't think you find anything? I can tell that's what Mike's going to say right now.
Well, I mean, you do find some very interesting chunks in the sludge, but that's about it. And we move on.
Okay.
There's nothing there that you can see that would help you advance your quest, young sirs.
Okay.
No lanterns.
No lanterns. There's a lot of heartbreak and pain.
No, I know. I just it seemed odd with the thing there and that kind of shit. So
now we have to head back out and scale the elevator shaft down.
Correct. And then the cool part about this is, as we discussed with
actually, the cool part about this is we don't have a grappling hook anymore.
No. But climbing is pretty interesting because a creature can climb a ladder, knotted rope, or along a pocketed wall without requiring a climbing check, which is an athletics check. Climbing a slick rope or wall may require a climbing check, and creatures with a climb speed have advantage on climbing checks. So in this case, the wall itself that's going down, so even if you don't unfurl your rope to use it, it does have handholds that seem like have been carved out inadvertently by the acidic beetles that have used this entry.
Oh, so we don't need to make a roll for it, or do we need to make a roll for it?
You don't need to make a roll for it, which I thought is a nice touch, just to clarify that, especially as opposed to last week in Dragonbane, you basically fell down a hole because you had a rope.
Right.
It's like, use a rope and you get advantage on your acrobatic check.
Oh yeah, so I guess we climb down there then.
Okay.
Yeah, let's climb down. Let's go.
Yeah. It's been a few days, so it's not like there's any change. Obviously the beetles, you hear kind of the thrum of their hive area over onto the right, but you don't see it there. It's not like their hive has changed or anything like that. You just see that the areas, of course, go straight down to the stairs, which obviously go into that water. And then, of course, you have the two rooms, one to your left, one to your right. Left being the sleepy room, right being the beetle area.
Okay.
All right.
Pause for a second. I need to go grab something, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Talk amongst yourselves.
So perfect time to hang out and answer any questions from chat if anybody has any.
It's been chat's been pretty quiet tonight, so
yeah. Well, like I said, I think Dungeon Coach. I actually just checked. He's still on stream. So wow.
Well, they're probably. I mean, it's. You know what? If I had just raised $2.2 million for my labor of love,
oh yeah,
I would have that stream going until nobody else was there, and I was talking to myself.
Yeah, which doesn't seem
like
to be
closing
the
bar down kind of thing,
Yeah, he's still got a healthy 550 people or so watching. So
nice, good for him.
Yeah, no,
Enjoy it.
That's awesome that he's got it all closed out. And the final number was, I can get to it. It's at the top here. Okay, so the final number. Oh wait, what? Oh, here it is. $2,235,231 and 20,685 backers pledged to bring that project to life. So good work.
Good work. Congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Not gonna lie. So I think that when you think about like how a Kickstarter goes and everything like that, and you've seen Kickstarters, I've seen Kickstarters. I mean, it feels like Kickstarters can be the biggest labor of love, but also like can just be heartbreak. I'm sure, especially depending on where your goal ends up and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if I'm brave enough to do a Kickstarter personally, at least not at this point. So.
Well, you'd have to have a product in mind first.
Well, I have one.
Yeah, they succeed more often when you actually have a product to sell than when you just have. I have an idea about a plan that I might bring to fruition. That doesn't.
Although it worked for MCDM, so
Ooh, spicy. But he has a track record of delivering on Kickstarter projects. Whereas if I were just to be like, hey, I've got the greatest idea for an anime mecha.
Of course, yours is going to be a mecha anime. Why did we even ask? Why were we worried, Brent, that it was going to be I don't know, role playing related, game related?
But it would be a tabletop RPG.
Game.
Yeah, it would be a table. It would have obviously fighting kaiju, big mecha. I mean, I don't know. It'd be fun. Battle against space tactics. It's already getting away from me. I got to stop this.
Mike's Kaiju Combat would be
Mike's Kaiju Combat.
Yeah.
So soon you'll be able to check out mikeskaijucombat.com for more information.
MKC, yeah, for sure. That's not a bad acronym. MKC. That's a pretty memorable.
No, acronyms are not memorable.
But
they're only memorable to
Kaiju
the people
Combat.
Yeah.
But it would have to be something like, I don't know, Bloodstorm. I don't know. Well, I'm terrible at naming, obviously. So now that Brent's back, I can get away from this embarrassing tangent we went on related to my inability to name games. So
hang on, I'm checking to see if kaijucombat.com is taken.
Kaijucombat.com?
Yes.
Although, if anybody's seen Godzilla -1, I think it was on Netflix, that was a pretty fun movie. Not gonna lie, I enjoyed the heck out of it. So,
all right, let's go on. I seem to not be getting. Yeah, no, it looks like it may not. It may be available. Mike, Kaiju Combat may be available.
Mecha Kaiju Combat is also available.
Them all. I just start registering domains on the hopes and dreams that I eventually one day put together a game that makes sense.
Well, before anybody who's watching us registers them, so you can't.
No, pay me.
Yeah, pay me.
I feel like, based on my current economic situation, that may be a ransom that goes nowhere.
Yeah, I feel like somebody just lost a bet. They just lost chicken. They go out and buy it. I'll buy it, so he has to get it from me.
That's funny.
Yeah, they may lose that. All right. So we are climbing down. Right.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys are climbing down. You've entered into that the kind of a hallway that leads into the because like I said, it kind of opens into a kind of almost an entryway area. Then it narrows into a hallway, and then it branches. Obviously, the one continuing straight, and then the ones to the left and right.
Okay. Well, let's find that beetle swarm and kill it, Brent.
Well, the left one was the room that made us sick, and the right room was the swarm room.
Yeah, did we still have a map of this?
We never had a map.
Okay, there was the swarm on one side, and
there's a swarm in the other one, but there's more to it than that. It also made us
sick. So basically, if you look straight ahead, that's, and I'm just saying, like, you guys have climbed down. You're in an entryway. You look straight ahead. Straight ahead, you have the stairways that go down into the water, which is scary enough. And then to the left, that's the room where you saw the slabs out and everything like that. And that's where you walked in, you like went, whoa, both of you had a moment.
Yeah.
And then to the right, that's where the concentration of the beetles were. Now, in that other room, that one that was tired, you had at that point seen a beetle that was also like, whoa. It was
there's a big beetle in there, yeah.
Or that there was at the time, at least.
So, do we want to go try and clear out the beetle room?
Yeah, let's go to the one with that doesn't make us sick.
Okay,
let's go to that one.
So let's look into the right room.
Okay. So, just as a reminder, as to the areas, so that the chamber itself, it has so the north and the south walls, the chamber taper somewhat, and you see that the nook on the far eastern wall rests a wide stone basin backed by a 5-foot tall shelf. A hardened orange paste spills out over the 2-foot basin lip and covers much of the shelf. This is where you see the beetles and everything like that. And they have kind of a bright blue carapace, and they kind of skitter around the chalky substance, seemingly, seeming like almost like ants, seeming to kind of like just constantly be going over
more nutrient paste.
You see kind of what looks to be the huge organic mass is kind of filling the room's southwest corner. And that's where it seems like, as you can tell, the smaller beetles, the one that look like maybe workers, are taking some of that chalky substance and they're taking it back to that area.
Okay.
It's all stone, right?
Yeah, everything in here is stone except for obviously the chalky substance that you're not really sure what that's made out of, the beetles and the what looks to be a hive.
Let's go. Let's
just go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I pull out. What did it have? 2 or 3 bottles of oil? What was it? 3?
3.
All right. Well, I'll throw the first bottle of oil at the. How close am I?
So it depends. So the kind of because there is a little bit of a hallway that goes into the room about 15 feet. So basically, as you go down the hallway, you can be at the very edge of it, and you'll see effectively the hive within about 5 or so feet of you. The area where most of the beetle activity is taking place is about 15 or about 20 feet away from the end of the hallway, based on your guess.
Okay, so here's the plan. I'm gonna throw the Molotovs at the hive itself. Any of the bugs that start coming towards us, you zap them.
Okay.
Rocks.
Okay.
So like what I meant was, how far can I throw this and hit the thing? Like, how close do I have to be?
Oh, that's a good question. Throwing. So you can throw an object a number of spaces depending on your might and the object size. For the purpose of throwing objects, your minimum might is 1. The table shows how far you can throw each size of object. So if it's 2 sizes smaller than you can throw it 5 times your might. So I guess it would be a tiny object. So I guess it would be 25 feet without really having any problem.
Well, how close do I have to be to see it?
So in order to get to the hive, it's about 10 feet. Yeah.
That isn't very far. I mean, you may not be able to.
No, but I want to stand. I want to stand where I can see it, but I'd not necessarily like back a little bit from it, so there's a range for them. So I'll get 15 feet away from the hive, and then I'll throw the first oil Molotov at it.
Yeah, let's see what it. Let's do.
So this is going to be the start of combat. So your action is going to initiate combat with the hive. Jeff, what are you doing as he's kind of like looking crazily at these different little cocktails of?
I'm searching to see if there's anything. I mean, without going into the room, I'm searching with my eyes if there's anything that stands out, because we didn't really step into the room and take a closer look at stuff. So I guess maybe awareness.
Okay, so that would be.
Or do you want me to do? I'm not investigating because I'm not up close to it. I don't know. I'm trying to I'll just do awareness.
Okay, awareness, sure.
So is like basically my initiative an attack roll? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I wish I'd rolled that for throwing it.
I got a 12.
Okay, so just for the people following along, dice roller. So I got Jeff. Oh, where were you?
I rolled in the wrong room?
I see now. I was like, where did you go?
Oh, actually, you're probably rolling in the right room, and I'm probably rolling in the wrong room.
Okay.
Mike, I'll switch over, but I got a 12 on this one. I'll switch over where Brent is.
Okay, so you guys succeeded in winning the initiative this round. So you guys can determine how you want to go, and then one of you will go, and then the swarm will have a chance to go.
Brent, you definitely get to go.
Can I spend 3 action points to just throw all 3 Molotovs?
Let's see what happens when we throw one. I don't know. I mean, it's you've got them.
So this is what would happen in that scenario: is that your first Molotov would be fine, your second Molotov would be disadvantage, and your third Molotov would be double disadvantage. So it does stack. So
all right, we're just throwing the first one then, and I'll save my action points.
I mean, so you can, because if you want to go big, you can do like hurling them, is my understanding. So unless I misread that, you can go to town.
Well, since I don't know what it is to actually hit the hive, we'll just do the one. Now, is that at a +5? Like that's my attack bonus, right?
So yeah, because it's this is an improvised weapon. Let me just double check to make sure that I didn't miss something. Boom, 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 boom. Improvised weapon. Okay. So when you roll an improvised weapon, you use your prime modifier to your D20 roll. You don't add your combat mastery.
Okay, so it'd be +3.
Perfect.
I roll pretty good.
So you seemingly, as you take and wind back, considering the depth at which, you're trying to get this, you toss it almost perfectly in a place where the bottle strikes, and you just see the flame blow up into the area that you had desired there, like
yeah. So basically, I have my shield out defensively, and I just lob the Molotov at the hive.
Okay.
Expecting you to cover me with zapping bugs.
Yeah,
with your bugs,
freezing bugs.
Yeah, or whatever.
I haven't quite decided yet.
Okay.
Probably zapping, because I can chain that one.
So basically, so let's go ahead and get this going. I think we'll probably. Okay. Okay, so okay, so basically you can tell the instant you did that, every beetle just almost as one, the hive just kind of recognized you two as being the threat to the hive. So I'm going to post something real quick just to kind of get your impressions as to if you could explain whereabouts you are. But here is it's kind of spade shaped, as you can tell here. But if you could kind of post for me the locations about where you are, because it seems like Brent is kind of in that corner, as far away from the hive as he can get without being able to not see it. And then Jeff, how far away from Brent were you?
Standing next to him.
I didn't go in the room. I'm right in.
No, I'm not saying you're in the room. I'm just saying you're kind of in that hallway at just barely.
Yeah, I'm standing next to him. I mean, my spell's got a range of 10 spaces.
So where is the hive exactly?
That's that lower corner area.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's
I thought,
you can get.
I thought it was on the opposite side of the room.
Oh no, that's where just that.
Basically, if we walk in the thing, it's directly to our right, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So yeah,
so
I would have been.
We could back up against that wall, Brent, and still be like 15 or 20 feet away from it.
15 feet is the most, really.
Right, but there's other bugs. There's bugs can only get us from one direction if we're still in the hallway.
Correct. Yeah, so they can swarm at you from the room is basically what I imagined you guys doing.
I think they're like one swarm. I mean, maybe it's 100 small ones, but that seems punitive. Well, wherever you're standing, I'm next to you.
What I'm saying is, if we're standing in like the corner of that room, then they can surround.
Oh no, I had thought you guys were still in the hallway. Is that a mistake?
No, I am in the hall. We are in the hallway. I'm about the mid square, north.
Perfect.
That's
Yeah,
where
that's where I thought you were.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where we are.
Yeah, sorry. I kind of imagined that's where you were, so perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's go. So you throw your fire, fire just kind of erupts over the area. Obviously the bug is swarming at this point. They do move to your area. The swarm itself does take up that space. And so what ends up happening is that like there's so many bugs, it's hard to really do anything to one individual bug or anything like that. And so as you basically have the bugs creeping and crawling because they're able to get to you from the hive, um, each of you just takes 1 point of acid damage.
Is that physical damage? Does it ignore physical damage?
It ignores physical damage here.
Okay.
Okay. So go ahead, Jeff.
All right. Yeah. I'm going to cast Lightning Bolt. And how many times can I pump it?
You can usually use them. You can do the extras 1 time, but because of your mana limitation, so
there's no mana on Lightning Bolt.
That's right, because it's a cantrip. Yeah, so you would be able
I'll just pump it once.
Yeah.
I will pump it once. Uh, 23.
Jesus. All right.
Wasn't there a big beetle in the room, Mike?
In this room?
Yeah, I like there was a really big beetle in the room across the hall.
Correct.
But wasn't there one in this room too, or was it just this? Is it just the all I can see is the swarm?
Well, I think there was. I don't know if there is now.
All you can see is a swarm at this moment.
Okay, then I'm not going to chain it. I'm just so I'm spending 2 action points, 1 to cast it, 1 to pump the damage.
Okay. So as you kind of like send your lightning bolt out there, you pretty much feel the singes of the beetles just getting kind of smoked as they effectively you just burn them up. You're pretty much a bug zapper at this point. And at this point, that's when you see kind of like emerging from what looks to be like the shelf and everything like that. You do see a larger beetle coming out to also greet you, and that's where its round is going to start.
Okay, so how much do I'm hitting them for at least 3, but does that count as heavy or brutal at 23?
It does not in this particular case.
All right, so they take 3 damage. The swarm does.
Okay.
I don't think lightning does anything extra to them, but it is specifically lightning damage. Okay.
You do notice as like the obviously it feels like almost like as you zapped the bugs out of the air like that, it feels like almost they were able to replace those fairly quickly. The beetle that kind of emerges out comes out and it hisses at you, which is kind of an unnice thing for it to do. And it kind of moves towards you, but based on my movement, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it gets to about the middle of the room, and you can see it kind of like positioning itself in a funny way, almost like it's hankering down. Okay, so Brett, your turn.
So can I throw the Molotov through the swarm at the nest still?
Yeah, you can. You can basically throw the Molotov however you...
Why don't you throw the Molotov at the big beetle?
Okay, we'll do that.
I don't know. It may not make any difference.
Doesn't matter. I missed it.
Shit.
Okay.
Off.
Yeah, you're off from that. Yeah, it kind of shoots off to the side. What you notice is that you basically throw it so far over that when it like pops over that, it actually hits into that kind of chocolate paste, and it just the device that you made stays there. looks like it's still lit, but it didn't actually explode or spread fire or anything like that. Okay, so it goes.
So I throw that and I draw my axe. So I have my shield out already when I had that when I was throwing those, but then I drew my axe.
Okay, perfect. So okay, so next turn. As you continue, the
Hey, Snozgobbler says good evening in chat.
oh, well, it's not Scott.
So
Welcome. Okay, so basically at this point, each of you is going to take another acid damage, and you start to have beetles in places that you don't really like. So you're going to be slowed.
Hey, Mike. I'm using returning shock the second I get damaged.
Okay.
It's an AP and an MP. Let me mark that off. I take another damage.
Oh, we appreciate that. Thank you.
But yes, as soon as I take damage, instantaneous, I electrocute creatures that damage me.
Okay.
Make a spell check against the target's physical defense. All right, let's do that.
Okay.
Damn, 7.
You can you basically discharge the electricity nearby, and you feel like some of the bugs obviously are zapped on there, but you don't think that you did anything noticeable from that perspective.
Okay, it was worth a try. I've used one. I got to mark that action point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. So at this point, it's the bombardier beetle, and it basically, as you can tell, have you guys ever seen bombardier beetles and kind of like what they do, and how they attack? They like turn their torsos around.
Yeah, only in cartoons.
And they just well,
I'm assuming it's similar.
It's like, I mean, if you guys have ever seen like Starship Troopers, you know, like those big beetles obviously are shooting plasma out of their behinds. It's not like that per se, but it does go down and it shoots almost what looks to be like a hyper heat, like a very focused heated blast of this like acidic substance that the other beetles are doing there. So I'm going to roll here.
Can I parry this? Is it a physical defense thing or not?
Yeah, it should be. Here, 1 second. Mm-hmm. I guess I didn't write that part down. My apologies. So, go ahead, and it's going to be a physical defense. So, yeah, if you want to basically put yourself in a tighter ball, and in order to try to
I lean in behind my shield.
Okay, 1 second here. Okay. So let's see how well it does in this hyper thing here. So I think I might be doing this wrong. We'll just go and see. So it rolls a 14. Does that hit? That doesn't hit you then, Brent, but it would hit Jeff, correct?
For physical defense, yes.
Okay. So Jeff, that would be 2 acid damage that you suffer from the spray, and you basically it feels like you just got very caustic chemicals on your body.
I'm down.
Okay.
I'm at 0 hit points.
Okay. So, Brent, your turn.
So instead of fighting the beetle, I will holster my axe and move to Jeff and start dragging him out of here.
Okay. So you can take some move actions. Are you going to move to the sleepy room, the waterway, or try to get to the stairway or the elevator shaft?
Well, he can't climb the elevator, so I'm going to go towards the water.
Okay. So basically grabbing Jeff, because he's a nice small figure and all that kind of stuff. You just basically book it to the water. Are you going to go in the water, or what are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to leave him. So what is it like in the water room again?
The water is basically a stairway down into water. You don't actually know what's down below that, other than the stairs probably continue.
Right, but the top of the stairs, are they underwater or are they in the water?
The very top of the stairs, they're not in the water, but there are like 5 or 6 stairs before it gets down.
Do I have to stay? Like, how does this game work? Do we have to stabilize them or something? What happens?
So when you run out of hit points, we call that death. No, just kidding. So hit points at first level. Your death threshold is equal to 0 hit points minus its prime modifier. So if you go down, so actually, I don't think you don't pass out when you hit 0. You actually, so how far down are you below 0, Jeff?
I'm at 0.
So at 0, you're at death's door, and I should have actually clarified this. I'm sorry. But basically, it is your death threshold means that you have a death threshold equal to 0 minus your prime, so you can fight until you're there. So when you are reduced to 0 hit points,
3.
Yeah. So let's talk. So this is basically
which we're taking an automatic point of damage every turn.
Yes.
So you have exhaustion. So you immediately gain exhaustion 1. Your action point limit is 1 until the end of until you're restored to 1 hit point or higher. You can't concentrate, and at the end of each of your turns, you make a death save. And failure, you take 1 true damage, and a critical failure is you fall unconscious until you're restored to 1 hit point or higher, and critical success, you're restored to 1 HP. So
but that means he'd be taking 2 damage a turn, 1 from the bugs and 1 from the true damage, right?
Could potentially, yeah. So having an escape plan might not be a bad idea.
So I push you out of the room, down to the water, away from hopefully the swarm, and I stand in the hallway and wait to see if the big bug follows us.
Okay. All right. So at this point, Jeff is basically you're pushing him behind you to kind of like get out of the swarm, and then are you both retreating at this juncture?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah, I'm standing like in front of him, like to make sure that he doesn't get hit again, or trying anyways. And if you need to, you can get in the water and wash the bugs off, I assume, if there's any that are on you that are still causing damage. That's the plan.
All right. So you're kind of helping Jeff move effectively. Based on the distances and everything like that, it would be to get to the water. It'd be 2 action points for you, Brent. Just an FYI.
That's fine.
And then, obviously depositing Jeff behind you. It is what it is. And so you see that the little bug.
But you are conscious, so.
Yeah. So the little bugs, obviously, you kind of like break out of them, and the little bugs kind of peel off of you as you're running down the hallway. Little ones kind of that you flick and kind of get out of your clothes as you're trying your best. Obviously, Jeff as well. You do see that the other bug hasn't followed you yet, but you do notice that the swarm does move around the corner, kind of in pursuit. It just doesn't catch you yet. So between you and the water, it's got about another 10 feet or so.
Can I spend another action point to throw the last Molotov at the swarm that's chasing us?
You could on your turn, yeah, but not as a reaction. Unless you wanted to retcon and go backwards to throw a Molotov on the ground effectively.
Well, no. Can I move the 2 with 2 action points? You said,
Mhm.
and then I have another action point left.
Yeah, but yeah. So like I said, if you want to, you can throw the Molotov, but the swarm won't chase you until its turn.
Oh, okay. Okay, then I can wait.
Yeah. So, but you do have 2. Well, I guess you have full action points because at the end of your turn you restore all.
Right. At that point, I'll have all my action points back. Yeah.
Okay. So Jeff, your turn. So exhaustion 1. So just so you're aware of what exhaustion is a penalty equal to 1 on all of your checks and saves you make. Additionally, your speed and save DC is reduced by 1 as well. Okay.
All right.
And just as an FYI, if Brent remembers, didn't I give you guys some healing potions at the beginning?
I don't remember. Honestly, I have.
No, you gave us.
I got 2 potions of water breathing.
You gave us the water breathing potions, but you did not give us the healing potions. I don't think.
I totally did.
I don't think you did, because I would have wrote that down because I would have been amazed.
I gave you a couple of healing potions because I knew this situation may arise. I think we could even go back in the tape because there's literally tape of it. I'll have to.
I think.
Well, there could be. Yeah.
You can clip it for us if that's the case, but I don't think it's the case. But we have them now apparently, so go ahead and drink one.
There were just 2. That was the because I thought about you being 2 adventurers in there, and a healing potion would give you 2 hit points back.
Well, I'd say we each have one, so I would say go ahead.
The healing potion will give me 2 hit points back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's funny though. I'm curious. I'm going to go back and see if I remembered that because I have it in my notes.
Yeah, honestly I don't remember, but okay. So I have 2 hit points after using, and because I could only use 1 action point until my exhaustion was. So that clears exhaustion.
Yeah, I think so. Let me just double check conditions. Oops. I don't know what I just did. I'm not sure, actually. It doesn't say that exhaustion is cleared by that. It just says, let's see. Oh, it doesn't actually say how you clear the exhaustion. So I'm assuming that the exhaustion is cleared after you get out of death's door, but at least doesn't
the 2 hit points pull me out of death's door?
Yeah, it does.
You immediately gain exhaustion 1, action point limit, can't concentrate. At the end of your turn, make a death save.
Mm-hmm.
Until you're failure, you fall unconscious until you're restored to 1 hit point or higher.
Yeah.
So if I think if I use my 1 action point to do that, I am out of death's door.
Yeah, and then you'd regain all of your action points at the end of your turn.
At the end of my turn. So for this turn, all I could do was drink the potion. I'm at 2 hit points, and I can do something next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. If that sounds fair.
That sounds right. It is interesting, though. I'll have to see if there's anything about exhaustion after getting to death's door.
Okay.
Okay. So then the other beetle does not follow, actually.
Just the swarm?
Mm-hmm. Just the swarm.
Okay, so I throw the Molotov at it.
We saw that. That was pretty amazing, Agile. That was probably like it was awesome to kind of see, even at the end, people just kind of buy in at the last moment almost.
Yeah, we checked in. We had a small break. We checked before it ended, and then we checked again after the.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. All the stretch goals got hit.
Yeah, it's really cool that all the stretch goals got hit. The VTT stuff is, it's as exciting as anything else, but I thought that was pretty neat. of Alan to combine those, and then we hit it. So that's awesome.
Yeah. So throw me an improvised weapon.
I did. I rolled a 20. 17 plus 3.
Oh, nice. Okay. So you basically land the Molotov right in the spot that would be. It's good to kind of almost create a. I was close. If you just jumped in, Jeff just.
I was at death's door.
Just literally was at death's door, and I had to remind them about 2 health potions I gave them to them in session 1, like 6 weeks ago.
That was not on either character.
He didn't give us potions.
Okay, so when you're resting for each 4-hour period, no activity, you decrease your exhaustion by 1, so you get to keep your exhaustion. Thanks, Nox Gobbler. Ooh.
So you're going to be at 1 hit point until you can sleep in the water.
Well, no, it's about saves and stuff like that.
I don't think the water's safe, man. I just think we haven't found anything.
But yeah, so basically you notice that the bugs and everything like that, as insects burn, like wings kind of flash up and flare, and like the swarm itself makes some pretty nasty noise. Okay. So the water is never safe. I can't disagree with that, but plus it's Kraken week. It's true. I should. That's what I do. Is I
yeah, that's what should be in there. That would be fantastic.
Welcome to Kraken Week, where I screw my players over with this newly designed water.
Tentacle comes right out of the water and just drags Jeff in as we're standing there.
Yeah, we can breathe underwater, but if it's dark in there, I don't know if we can see underwater.
We can breathe underwater if we take the vial.
The potions, or we can hold our breath. But I still don't know if we can see.
That would be correct. We wouldn't be able to see.
We may not be entering the water at all.
Mm.
Good point.
So, as it moves closer, you notice that those beetles that are surviving are making a valiant attempt to kind of get through the fire and all those kind of things to get to you guys. Each of you take 1 acid damage.
All right, that puts me back.
They're honest. They're honest again already. Take the other potion. I hand you the other potion if you need it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take it next turn. But if I'm still exhausted, then
yeah. So exhaustion.
That sucks, dick.
It can do a little bit of stuff there.
No, I know it's the 1 action point. If all I can.
Well, no, exhaustion doesn't. Well, exhaustion doesn't make you only have 1 action point. That was death's door.
Oh, that's death's door.
Yeah, so exhaustion.
So I just have a -1 on. Okay.
All checks and saves you make, and additionally,
so I can drink the potion and still do something next turn. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, that's me misunderstanding the rules.
Oh yeah, no, there was a lot of data in that.
I said something to that effect, and I was wrong.
Okay. So basically, it was the swarms. Then it's Jeff's turn. Then it is. So Jeff, you have.
I'm gonna drink the potion.
Okay, 2 more hit points. So you're back up to 3.
I'm up to.
You're
3.
at like half health at this point. You're like.
I am
perfect.
at half health. That is the magic of that. I think I might do the ice cantrip rather than the lightning cantrip.
Okay.
Because I can possibly slow them. Right? I can use 3. I can cast it, increase the damage, and try to slow them. So let's try that. So normally, Mike, I would get a +4 on the spell check. So are you okay if I just do a +3, or do you want me to do +4 -1?
Just do +3.
Okay, I'm just checking.
And Agile, if there's any input we can still put on any future editions, having the ability to clear exhaustion in the exhaustion entry would be really cool.
All right. No, I got a 12. I got a 12.
Okay. Yep. So you used which one? Ice Knife or the Frostbolt?
Frostbolt.
Okay. So as you basically, he spread the fire, and it kind of, bugs are still crawling over it, flaming acid bugs to be exact. Some of them obviously dying as they get to you because bugs and fire uh, don't come through there. Because it was actually in the resting rules, I guess, and Snaz can let us know if that was where it was. But basically, you shoot your frostbolt, and you describe to me how exactly your frostbolt would cut through and kind of like debilitate a swarm at this juncture.
Just kind of out of desperation and frustration, I'm trying to aim for like that front edge of the swarm, with the ice bolt and increasing the damage, and I, kind of pointed him with my wand as I'm kind of hunched over, still trying to recover from being at death's door.
So,
okay. And try and hit that front edge, try and hit that leading edge.
Not very often I get to say this, but much like Elsa shooting frost, I can't sing any songs or else I'm going to get copyright struck. Is that how it works?
Yeah, that's why you shouldn't sing any songs.
Yeah, that's the whole reason that you shouldn't swing.
That's why.
But basically, as you fire as you shoot the frostbolt across the front of it, it burst back across the rest of the beetles. Their carapace is becoming brittle, and between the temperature changes and everything like that, you see that the swarm itself what's remaining of the swarm dissipates, and there's only seems to be a few bugs that between your icy and cold blast remaining. And of course the bugs you're obviously knocking off yourself. Yeah. Copyrights. That's why I shouldn't be singing. Nobody's ever seen me at karaoke night. That's all I can say.
That was deadly. That was fun. That was good.
I mean, admittedly, there is still a giant.
There's still a bombardier beetle in the room. And are we out of Molotovs, Brent?
Yes.
Well, not really. There is one that was still lit in the.
Well, yeah, but that's just going to burn, and it's either going to explode when it gets into the oil inside, or just burn.
Is that Schrodinger's Molotov? Is it both exploded and not exploded until we verify its state?
Well, I mean, probably because you're so close, you could verify it's unexploded at this point.
Okay. Damn. Do you think we should try to take it on?
I can go take it on. You should probably stay here.
Well, all my spells are a range of 10 spaces. I don't know how far he can throw stuff. He might still be able to return fire. But maybe I can poke my head out, fire my stuff, and save an action point to move like off to the side. You know what I mean? Off to the side of the hallway.
Yeah, we can do that. I don't know. The other problem is I don't know how much of the swarms are taken care of, though. There might still be swarms in there. If there is, there's going to do an ongoing 1 point of damage, and you're going to die.
That's true. I guess if the swarm comes back, I'm going to have to go climb the rope.
Climb the pitted thing, like
and try and get back to the sarcophagus room.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. Let's at least go look in the room and see what's going on with the bombardier beetle and how many of the swarm are left.
Okay. Yeah, there may be nothing in the water, but when I talked to Alistan, I forgot about being able to see down there. But
odds of that there not being anything in the water are not good.
We got a lantern and a torch at this point, and my guess is that both of those go out as soon as they descend into the water.
Probably. It's probably not a magic lantern.
Okay.
So let's go check on the bombardier beetle.
Okay.
Basically, you see that, much like it was before, it kind of is hissing and kind of pointing its butt at the hallway, more in defense than kind of pursuit, if one could say. So as you kind of like look around.
What does the hive look like?
The hive, it definitely is far less aggressive than it was, but you do see, obviously the beetle here or there. They seem to be more aimless and kind of wandering than focused.
Is it still on fire or is it out?
It is on fire, and you can see that the hive is, it's off to the side.
I'd say maybe that was a good attack then with the fire bombs. Wow. I don't know. I don't want you to get ambushed when you go in there. I'm not trying to get you swarmed.
All we can do is clear out the room. Like, so
okay.
I would have
let's
to
try. Are you game to try?
Yeah, we should definitely attack the beetle.
Okay.
But do we want to?
I'm gonna hang back because he's definitely within range.
Okay. So I guess we'll just keep the same initiative order as you guys kind of shimmy up to the thing. Are you going to basically charge it from the end of the hallway and go that route, or what is your approach?
I'm going to let my martial friend decide for himself there.
Because the end of the hallway to the middle of the room where it's at is about 5 squares. So it'd be like one full move, effectively. I think you have a move 5. Is that correct, Brent?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Move 5. So one move would cost me 1, and then attacking it cost me 1, right?
Correct.
So yeah, I'll move. I'll attack it. We'll do power attack, and what else do I have? And we'll try to expose it again.
Okay.
So do you want to do your save for expose?
I am. Okay. So one second. It looks like it beat your save DC, so it is not exposed. It wasn't necessary. Jesus.
Here's my attack.
Wow, Brent. So again, Brent with the clutch, man, you were just crushing it tonight. So I think Brent likes the system, obviously, because he's proving that you can be a good fighter with it.
I seem to roll fairly well.
Yeah, Brent rolled a 24, so yes.
So in this case, you
2
beat
it plus 1.
Yeah, so 2 base plus the heavy plus the brutal
plus the power attack.
Plus the power attack. So that's 5 again damage to it. So you just go in and crack it on the carapace, and it kind of hits it like it sees you coming, obviously, and kind of like moves to do it, but because it was surprised by you and thought it could just kind of keep you in front of it, it didn't seem to understand that by just looking at you, you just gave it a nice square shot right into the back of the beetle. You broke open its carapace and it squeals very loudly, actually. So it takes 5 damage off the top.
Nice. All right. Is it its turn or is it my turn?
In this case, it would be your turn because the swarm's taking your turn.
I'm going to Frostbolt.
Okay.
Pump the damage. Try to slow. So that's 3 action points, and then I'm going to try to step behind the wall.
Okay. So basically, get out of sight.
Yeah, I'm at the end of the doorway. 1d20 plus 3. Stupid mage tricks. Let's go. A 10.
Your bolt goes wide, kind of exploding near the beetle, but it seems as though Brent's attack was kind of got him in the way of it, so you didn't have as good of a line of sight to it as you thought.
So was the slow part, do I have to hit it for the slow to take effect, or does he still have to make the physical save? I think it doesn't make sense if he has to save if I don't hit it, right?
So with Frostbolt, spell attack, hit the target takes 2 cold damage. The target makes a physical save. I would say that in my belief, I would think that you would get the effects from doing it. Kind of like with Brent's power attack, he doesn't get to do damage unless he hits. So I'm going to rule in the same fashion.
No, that's fair. Yeah, I am definitely hiding after being at death's door and still being exhausted. So I will pop out, fire, and duck back into cover.
Okay.
Each time. Okay.
So basically, at this point, Brent, Beetle is going to.
Thanks, Monk. Yeah, Monk. He said saves only if he hits. It makes sense. It
makes the most sense.
You know, I can try to game the rules, but
okay. So basically, the beetle tries to like trip you up, Brent. Kind of pushing you down to the ground and everything like that. Yeah, we're not that big of a channel. So, but let's go ahead and have you. Yeah, that is an entirely different aspect of gaming. Do you guys want Jeff to live?
Oh man,
very Roman Coliseum.
Roman Coliseum for
thumbs
money.
Up, thumbs down. Oh, that'd be bad. That'd be odd.
Can you make a physical save for me?
What do I need to roll? 1d20 plus.
Yeah, 1d20. So your physical
3.
So types of saves.
Yeah, I think 3, right?
It's just 3, and I believe you can use if you have something that has your save on it. It allows you to use your combat mastery. So like it'd be D20 plus attribute plus combat mastery if that little dot next to the thing that you're using is filled in. So if you use might, for example, it would just be +3.
What dot's filled in?
So the dot at the very far left, is my understanding. If I remember that correctly. So when you look at agility, see how you put the dot in the very far. Sorry.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I did.
Because you guys both decided to kind of buff up your weaknesses with the.
Yeah, I did. Saves. So I have advantage on this.
Well, whichever one is your better one. So in the case of this, I think your might would be better because you get +3 versus +2 because your combat mastery is 1 right now.
So I roll 1d20 +3.
Correct.
Wow, Brent, you're on fire. Your rolls have been better than mine tonight. I've had a couple of good ones, but Brent's consistently like you've had a couple of low ones, but
it's worked out fairly well.
Yeah. So basically, Brent, what you see here is this giant goat-sized beetle comes at you, tries to knock you down with the sheer weight of its form and kind of like push you over and everything like that. All the while, its mandibles are chomping at you. Now it's going to make its attack. So it's going to try to take 2 bites out of you. So roll. So 1d20, and then that was suck. And then 1d. Keep lowest 1.
Ooh.
Yeah, it rolled terrible. I'm not exactly sure what happened on that second one. Oh, because I rolled 1d20. Okay. I see what I did. Okay. So yeah, both of those attacks. So basically, as its mandibles kind of like try to find purchase into your armor, it basically you feel like the scratching kind of trying to get in there and the creepy collies.
He's at disadvantage, so the 8 is the one he has to
yeah. I just wanted to make sure I didn't critically fail or something like that.
Gotcha.
Hey, Charles Tabor entered the chat. Hey, Charles.
Brent is too often surprised when he rolls well to do any screaming.
So top of the initiative, you've got a beetle basically like trying to climb up you, biting at your chest and trying to get under your shield. What do you do?
Let's try exposed again. 1 attack, 1 for exposed, and 2 for power attack.
Crush it like a bug.
Okay, you do expose it, so you get advantage on your roll when you attack. Okay, that's good.
Let's see. Oh, the advantage was better this time.
Okay, so you actually get a heavy hit with that. Nice.
I rolled a 20, guys. Just so you know. Well, I rolled a 15, but I got
a dirty 20. Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
So you do get your 2 damage plus your heavy hit plus your power attack for
2.
2.
Yep.
Crushing it still. I mean, you're rolling really good here. So,
Yep. So that's 5.
You can tell that you can basically tell that it's like as you just crushing into its carapace, you're making some pretty big holes and kind of some ooey gooey liquid is coming out. It looks like it's kind of enfeebled at this point, but it's still going. Yeah,
you should
kill, like to do?
You should kill it now, Jeff.
I am definitely popping out from cover and trying the same thing I did last time. So
sniping it.
So I'm trying to snipe. I'm going to increase the damage, and I'm going to try to slow it.
Okay.
And then pop back into cover. I got a 20. I got a 17 plus 3. Even with exhaustion, I think I hit it.
Oh, man.
3 cold damage.
I feel bad that my rolls are so terrible. I want to be rolling well.
I feel good that your rolls are terrible.
That's fair. That's fair. So yeah, so basically you do let's just tally up the damage real quick.
I feel like the guy in the Western shootout, like hiding behind the wagon, just kind of popping up.
Mm-hmm. So you do 2 points of cold damage, plus you did 1 extra cold damage.
So yeah, 3 cold damage, and then if he's still alive, he's slowed. Well, unless he makes the save.
Actually, no. You basically, you blast it with that bolt of frost, and it causes the beetle to kind of freeze up and fall over to the side. With mandibles kind of weakly, kind of twitching as it expires.
Oh, I'm kill stealing now. Damn.
Technically, yes.
Yeah, I mean, Brahms up there just mashing, just smacking face, and I'm just hiding in the back trying to stay alive because I don't want to be at death's door again.
Building a tank character, my plan is never to actually hurt the thing. So this actually is exactly what's supposed to happen.
Okay.
You guys have been doing good. It's not a bad thing to see when you guys roll successfully, because as much as I love to fail forward, having some good successes and feeling good about the rolls is not a bad thing either.
No, that's true. That is true.
So basically, as the beetle kind of expires, you do see that there, obviously the smoke from the hive is kind of like choking you out a little bit, but you can tell that with a few minutes, the hive will probably burn out. There's nothing really else flammable near it that it can burn other than, of course, itself. So
how many of them are left?
How many what?
Hive beetles are left. Like, there's still a lot.
No, not really. There's obviously kind of a disjointed
I think the
beetle.
swarm was the main offensive thrust.
Oh, what's going on with the other bomb? Is it still there? Is it burned out or what?
It burned out. So if you wanted to re-wick it, you could, but it seems as though between the beetles and everything like that, the glass looks like it's warped a little bit. But you do see that the wicket actually went out at some point.
Okay, I'll go grab it and re-wick it because we can use it in the other room.
Okay.
Let's, I don't know, search through the ashes of the hive and investigate the.
Yeah, we'll step on.
What is it? It's Soylent Orange, right? Is that what we decided it is?
We'll step on bugs as we go through searching
just
the room.
Crunch.
Yeah, let's search the room.
As long as something stupid isn't happening, like we take ongoing acid damage the longer we're in this room.
Yeah. Do you need an investigation roll, Mike?
Yeah, if you could please.
Sure. Do I have
investigation? I normally get +5 on that, so I'm only taking a +4.
I don't, but I'll roll for it anyway.
I got an 18.
Great.
I rolled a 9.
Hey,
okay. At least Brahm's good at fighting. That's what I'm happy about that. At least he's good at what he's supposed to be good at.
Hey, you found the unexploded bomb and you're going to re-wick it. I mean, I think that's a win.
I go over and I look at the beetle and I go, yeah, it looks dead.
The beetle's definitely dead.
And I kind of push on it with my boot while he's looking around the room and doing useful things.
So, as you kind of like search the room to see what's in here, you actually find that the beetles seem to take anything that they can get, obviously, and they kind of put it in this orange kind of chalky pasty stuff. And actually searching through that, you find that there are 3 skeletonized remains. They look like they're human. They have kind of a soiled red leather armor, and you can see that on each of the breasts on the left hand side, you see what looks to be an 8-pointed star symbol.
Wait, we saw an 8-pointed star earlier on on a ring or something, didn't we?
You did. Calic has a symbol that given.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. The guy that plays the game with Alistan. Sorry, it's getting late. My brain is foggy on the details. But
yeah, he's also one. He had other adventurers that he sent out too, though.
Yeah, he's working with other adventurers to go to Sturge Nest Cairn.
And I didn't I do a check for that? Oh, sorry, man.
It looks like he's not working with these particular adventurers anymore.
These skeletonized remains, based on what you can tell, they look like they've been here a long time. There's literally nothing left. So either the beetles had enough time to just go at it, but you can tell based on the red leather armor and everything like that, it's pretty worn down. Like it's almost to the point where the embossed marks of the star, they're kind of smudgy and hard to read. You do see though that there's a pack that was attached to one of them. It's kind of covered in that. If you want to take that and look through it,
I will take that and look through it.
Okay. And then, okay.
Did I do an investigation check on Calyx Star? I thought I did, and I was like, no, neat star, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, you basically were like, oh, that's neat, and then moved on.
Okay. No, I thought I rolled really bad. Do I have the opportunity to do that again and see if my memory's jogged by seeing it again, or are we saying I still don't know?
I still don't know. I would prefer that you.
Do they actually match though? I guess
they do. Yeah, they're like 99%, other than the fact that they're kind of covered in sludge and old.
That's fair. That's fine. I'm that's fine.
What's in the pack?
What's in
the pack? You actually see 3 potions with a ruby red liquid in it, and you see a pearl.
3 potions.
Red, the universal color for healing potions.
And a pearl.
It's purple. Wow. I believe almost like I remember there being games that have purple potions. There's some. I don't remember.
Yeah, I still don't think I have a spell that lets me identify those. I mean, I could do an Arcana check.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's worthwhile. If you think that's good enough to identify.
We'll save that for later. Because at this week we can go ahead and wrap that up. And
we'll put away the potions and the pearl, but we do have them. Whatever they are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then next week,
purple potions are mind reading, by the way.
Mind reading.
Did you find a chart or something?
I did.
That's awesome. That's freaking awesome.
I'm curious. So red potions are healing. Blue must be.
Blue is mana, spell slot, regeneration.
Okay.
Did you see Snoz Gobbler? Purple was the elixir that recovered both health, which was red, and mana, which was blue in some computer games.
That's true. Yeah, it did both.
Right.
So here's the list I found. Red is healing. Light red is health regen. Dark red is life stealing or poison. Blue is mana or spell slot. Light blue is truth serum. Dark blue is knowledge. Green is poison. Light green is camouflage. Dark green is poison. Yellow is transformation. Orange is some random effect. Purple is psychic or mind reading. Pink is a love potion. Silver is a charisma or silver tongue potion. Gold is luck. Brown is knockout. Gray is stealth. Black is poison again. White is resurrection. And then a rainbow potion is increased magical power.
What's this list from?
I don't know, some website.
Oh, is it like D&D or like a game?
It was D&D. I looked up D&D and it's like the second one.
Oh, really?
That's kind of neat.
Drink this potion to be revived. What?
There's also a Reddit post where there's a more detailed list.
Oh, right.
Wow. I thought the first one was detailed.
Okay.
Oh, that was a good session. I know we ran long.
Yeah, so I think we're going to go ahead and call it there because that
was a good session.
2 hours and 30 some odd
Two
minutes.
2.5 hours, yeah.
Well, stop with me trying to before I try and throw the second bomb at the other bombardier beetle. Good call.
Yeah. Agile Monk's impressed with your citation of some website.
Some website. It was the N-World forums. There you go. How's that?
That's respectable.
Well, that's at least respectable. Yeah.
Brent trusts what he reads on the internet.
I trust gaming information on the internet. I mean, that was a pretty logical list in my opinion, because I'm pretty sure I have read somewhere else that purple potions. I bet if I went downstairs and pulled out one of the AD&D magical tomes of magic that they had, and I found the potion ones, I bet purple is mind reading and red is healing. Like I would almost guarantee that.
Maybe it could be.
The nice thing is when you label those, like players themselves can learn like what different effects are in a bottle. So they go, "Oh, what color is the potion?" You go, "It's a purple ichor," and you're like, "Oh, what? Mind reading?" But ichor doesn't sound right.
But again, you know me. I'm the drink the potion guy. So
yeah. What does this one do? If I only drink a little bit,
was it you that I played the game where I was the halfling that did that anytime they found a potion? Like they're like, "Oh, we found a potion, we don't know what it is," and he would just be like, "Hand it here."
I don't think that was with me.
I think it must have been somebody else. But I was my halfling was the potion taster. That's what he did. And then we knew for next time. And then because when you drink a potion, like for next time. That was one of the things in like 3.5 is like if you drank a potion, you would know what the potion is next time you came across that type of potion.
If there was a next time.
If there was a next time. If it wasn't a potion of save versus death.
Well, that was an interesting choice, Brent. Make some dice rolls. That's funny. I like that.
It's hard to die in D&D. You might as well take some risks.
I don't know. I did like that Death's Door stuff was pretty impactful right out of the gate. And it was fast because honestly, Jeff, I didn't realize you'd gotten down to 0 so quick. I mean,
I only have 6. I started the session with 4. Right.
That's right.
I started the session with 4 because I took 2 last time, and we didn't really rest. I'm not trying to game anything, so like between our sessions, like we're playing these short sessions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of assumed that we didn't really rest between last session and this session.
Yeah.
And then, I took 2 rounds of acid damage, and then the bombardier hit me for 2, and that just...
Yeah. So you basically went the full rest of the day, and you got through a small earth elemental, some acid beetles, and acid beetle swarm, and a bombardier beetle. So not a bad day, honestly. It was a lot more combat.
Much as I thought, the bombardier beetle was less of a threat than the swarm.
Although he was the guy who did...
only because of the passive.
Because the swarm weakened me, yeah.
Oh yeah, the passive 1 point of damage a turn is bad.
That's pretty deadly in this system. It's
it's bad news.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Because that's at max hit points. That means you only last 6 rounds of combat if you're taking.
Yeah.
But
without getting hit.
But because I don't actually have this loaded up for any other places. If you guys want to know how the acid beetle swarm really worked, I can tell you how it worked here, because it actually is worse than you think.
Oh Jesus! Like in the original, version of the dungeon.
No, the original dungeon, like swarms in 3.5 are all very basic. Hit it with fire and blah blah blah. Yeah. But basically, what I did to this is I gave it a swarm clock. So every time you stayed occupied in the same space as the beetle, so its goal was to basically move and just be on you, right? And so the swarm clock that it has is 1 tick, creatures suffer 1 acid damage. So that was that first round. The second tick is creature suffers 1 acid damage, and you're slowed until the end of your next turn. So if you get out of there, obviously you get slowed. You have the slow remove. But at 3 ticks, you suffer 2 acid damage, and you get slowed for 1 round. So you get slowed 1, and
awful,
and you get exposed. So if you just stand in this, all of a sudden it's
if you stand and fight, it's oh wow.
And then on the 4th tick, you suffer 2 acid damage, slowed 1, exposed, and rattled.
Well, on the 4th tick, you might as well just say we're dead.
Well, in Jeff's case, he would be dead, I think.
Yeah.
I would be pretty close to dead at that point, because that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. I would be at half health.
Yeah, you'd be bloodied pretty bad.
Just from standing in the room.
Yeah, no,
that's not the bomb.
You were right to be wary of the swarm.
That's not anything to do with the bombardier beetle. No, like I had a feeling. Well, like fighting bees.
It was a good. No, it was a good feeling. It was a good feeling. You were correct, sir.
But I like the condition rattled because rattled basically means you can't willingly move closer to your source of your fear, which in this case the acid beetle swarm is the source of your fear. You're intimidated, so that means you have a disadvantage on all checks while it's within your line of sight. So it gets pretty bad, and like I said, it was an interesting thing to try to do there. So I liked the acid beetle thing, and like I said, that was the one I had some help with from the Discord on, so I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Well, the recording will be up, Monk, and you can watch it if you'd like. You are one of our biggest fans, and we always appreciate you peeking in. All you missed was me murdering an earth elemental. I did very well this game, which means I'm probably gonna die next game. Is probably what's gonna happen. So it'll balance out.
Hey, we got to see the earlier sessions. I really thought we got to see the magic user class flex a little bit, but we really got to see Brent flex tonight. Like he was, some of that damage just was adding up. It was vicious.
It was vicious damage and parrying. So his physical defense and the fact that I couldn't seem to hurt him with minimal
physical. Tanky characters are pretty good. Like I know everybody's seen like. Dungeon Coach said that everybody loves their two-handed weapons, but like I think if you go tanky,
you're hard to kill.
You're hard to kill, and I think you still do a decent amount of damage if you get lucky, a little lucky.
Well, what's interesting to me is that 2 points of physical damage reduction is so big at low levels. Like I'm curious to see the armor rework for the beta because, like, honestly, that has been my hardest thing to overcome because what I don't want to do is I don't want to engineer creatures to fight Brent, because then if I get a hold of Jeff, then Jeff just becomes like a little chew toy.
I'm like, oh, hey, they hit you once. I'm dead. I'm at death's door again.
Well, I mean, you did. The beetles are the way to take passive damage that gets past my armor and my damage resistance is the way to do it. Like I'm sure anything that casts spells will screw me up. It's true.
Spells were definitely going to be a tough thing for you. I don't have any spells that I have.
I'm sure somewhere throughout Age of Worms there will be something that.
Oh yeah, there's tons coming. I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean I don't know, but my guess you just can't have a big campaign without eventually facing all kinds of varied stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Jeff the chew toy. Could you imagine a little gnome just like?
It's actually a squeaky toy when it's a gnome. They make wonderful noises.
Yeah, no. When I'm at death's door and I'm getting shaken in the jaws of something, it's pretty. Sorry, that was awful. That wasn't great. All right, I'll work on that for next time.
You're welcome, people that are listening. And
I'm going to need to workshop that before I do that into a microphone again.
A little bit of microphone peaking there.
Yeah. I'm gonna need to. I need to.
Okay, I need to work. We need to get our microphone because obviously we have professionals, audio, engineering our setup here, which we don't. I wish we did. No, that was good. I liked it. That was a fun time.
I think it was very good.
I think next week we still will be doing. We're going to basically our goal is to do this part of the Age of Worms path until we're done with this section using DC20. So I'll try to read through the beta as quickly as possible, and then I think we're going to probably move over to the next game I'm inspired by. So we'll take a look at Tales of the Valiant and see if it's fun to play, but. Based on my reviews of it, based on the other reviews that I've seen people do, is people say it's like so close to fifth. It's like
I already know how that plays.
So it'll be interesting. July 6th. Okay, well that is. Let me look at my calendar here.
Saturday, I think.
That is not a lot of time for me to read the beta.
Okay. No, but I mean, we can at least try. I mean, if we have to play, I don't know how many sessions you think we have left, Mike, and you don't have to tell us now, but
Well, I mean, this game goes on forever, so
Yeah, there's a 12-part adventure path, so probably 200 to 300 sessions at the rate we're going.
Well, no, I know, but I just meant the Cairn of Whispers.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that the section that we're talking about? Or is there maybe some more when we get back to town? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So TOV might as well be 5e old. Ooh, okay. So I'm disappointed you went so big into it. So yeah, I mean, have you read through the rules yet, or had a chance to play it? That's it.
Okay. Wheels on the bus go round and round.
yeah, I that's what we've kind of heard, is it's very much just a 5th edition rehash with not very many changes. So
Some, like, I think it would be curious to see if it's like 5.5 in its own way, or if it's like 5.1, that kind of thing. Because I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're the type of people that like to make sure there's a healthy gaming community just on all levels. So as long as people are playing, if you like Tales of the Valiant because you like Kobold Press, hey,
more power to you. And we'll look at it. We just don't know,
Oh, and KP it.
Oh, that's interesting.
So obviously, Brett now. But I've heard that, like, Wizards of the Coast is doing a lot of third-party stuff right now. So, I mean, it doesn't surprise me, because, if I was a business and I was doing 5th edition material, I would try to partner with Wizards, kind of regardless of my perception of them, because money's.
Well, no, but I mean, it's like, there's a reason why most of the YouTube channels that cover TTRPGs cover D&D. Like, we specifically don't, because we've made that choice. Like, and it's not.
And even we do
played
sometimes.
It. Yeah, we even talk about it sometimes, but I don't know if we're gonna ever play it live. Because we've.
I mean, the only thing that I would say is that just running the full 2024 version of something and just seeing how those rules by themselves work, because I don't feel like going back to the 2014 and adding that all in, but
5e and 3.5 mixed together.
That makes sense from what I've read. It's just
is it 3.5 in Timmy the Power Gamer way, like, or is it 3.5 in the unfun parts, not the I can do 85 damage around. Let's go.
Well, I know I know, what is it? Dungeon Lawyer? What is that guy? The
Rules Lawyer?
Rules Lawyer? Yeah, he was talking about how you can break all sorts of classes with multi-classing the old stuff with the new stuff, because it's all allowed.
Oh yeah, you're talking about in D&D?
Yeah. And 5. And 5 and D&D 24. That's what I'm calling it, everybody. Everybody's calling it D&D 5.5, but I'm going to call it D&D 24.
D&D 24?
Yeah, D&D 24.
Sounds like a much more ominous game, There was that show 24, right?
It's D&D 14 and D&D 24. That's what it is.
Yeah,
that's him. Ron's the Rules Lawyer. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a pretty interesting little video, because he's right. Like, there's just a lot. Like, the rules aren't congruous as much as they would like to think they are, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how this isn't at least a half step or a full, like a whole new version. I kind of understand the reasons they don't want to panic anybody and release a new version, but it's pretty much a new version.
One of the things that he said that he called out, which was interesting, was like the old Paladin, which didn't have to do stuff like with the unnerfed Divine Smite.
Yeah.
And people being like, I don't want to play the one that has the nerfed ability. Yeah, well, we get snarky too, though, sometimes. So
sometimes we do. We're snarkier off camera. Like
I'm pretty snarky about Hasbro, WotC sometimes. So
I have my moments too. I've had a couple.
but yeah,
we try to have fun. We want. Yeah, this is a fun hobby. People should have fun playing these games. If the game drives you nuts, find a new one. That's all I got to say. There's a ton out there. We've played a lot, and we've found a lot of stuff that we really like DC20. so we try to showcase different stuff, and we try to have fun, and we try to let people know that it's fun. And we hope that the live plays show that we're not, professional, and we're not doing voices, and we're not doing all that stuff, but I think we have fun playing together, and I hope that shows.
Sarcasm. That's your SaaS model. Oh man, I had to think about that in a long time. Yes. So because I'm actually kind of curious, because I think that outside of like Tales of the Valiant and stuff like that, I'm not sure I know of any real players that kind of jumped into the ring after the OGL that said like, "Oh, we are there." Did you play Castles and Crusades Reforged? Oh, okay.
Man, I haven't. I mean, that's a thought. I haven't thought about Castles and Crusades in a long time.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So, but yeah, I think we'll have to do a little bit of research to see outside of Tales of the Valiant. Doesn't look very fun to play.
And we may have some breaks in there. We play other games too. So
yeah, we may take a little break. It'd be nice to get to a natural stopping point, so that when we continued, it wasn't like right in the middle of the action.
Yeah. No, like when we hit a stopping point, I think so.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Cool. So I think that's it for tonight. I know that this is late for those guys, and that's they're an hour ahead of me, but it's also probably late for some other folks.
Yeah, especially we have any. Every once in a while, we get some European visitors, and I know that that's super early for that.
You mean time travelers?
Yeah, time travelers.
Yeah,
and the occasional Australian, New Zealand. It still blows my mind. It's a worldwide audience. So
it's true. It's true. So, all right. Well, he's not rude.
So he had some different plans. I had heard that he had different stuff. I never heard any specifics. The little bit I've read about that time, it like makes it sound like it was a toxic environment all around. And
it was the 80s. There's probably cocaine involved.
There may have been. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Chronomancers.
Exactly.
Yes,
yeah.
Charles. That's perfect.
Exactly.
I like that.
Welcome, Chronomancers. That's the new intro.
Yes.
So, all righty, guys. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thanks everybody that came to hang out.
Of course, thank you, Charles, Monk, Snoz. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, if anybody's watching this in the future, don't be afraid to comment. Let us know how we did. Let us know where I really bungled up the rules. Let us know. I'm getting better at the game, I think, but there's still a lot of rules jumbling around in my head. So
I think we're all getting better, and we want to see the beta. So see what it looks like on the 6th. It's exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Oh, okay. So Gygax helped create Castles and Crusades. Yeah. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, again, thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Thanks for the comments, the chats. We like interacting. I know it breaks the game up a little bit, but it's fun.
Yeah, and we will be back next week.
Yeah, next Monday, 8:30 Pacific time. Whatever that is in your local time. We'll see what it is. So, all right. Take care, everybody.
Well, good night, everybody. Thank you.